I wanted to get into this particular situation that just happened about 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Excuse me. And I'm getting ready to pull up the video for y'all. All right, hold on. Before I play this video, let me make sure it's turned up. Okay. And let me give y'all a walk down of what y'all about to see. All right, so right now, y'all about to see a woman by the name of Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley is actually running for president as a Republican. Okay? As a Republican right now. Now, I don't see how she going up against Trump, you know, as far, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. But what she says right here is very important. Now, this is during her campaign run. I never got a chance to pull up where she is exactly in this video, but this is definitely for her campaign run. Now, a member of her audience was asking a question. Apparently, she was taking questions at this time. Now, this is the question right here. Listen, here we go.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
So he asks, what was the cause of the United States Civil War? Can y'all hear this? Nikki is control. We about to get into it, but can y'all hear that, right? Y'all heard that audio right there in the beginning. I'm gonna play it one more time.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Can y'all hear that before we go any further? We good? Loud and clear? Okay, perfect. That's all hey, you see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hey, that's what I'm talking about. So we go keep it educational, but we also gonna have a little bit of fun right here because I think this is absolutely hilarious. I really do. So the audience member asked her this question.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Brief pause.
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the...
Well, don't come with an easy question. And then she give her explanation.
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do. What do you think the cause of the Civil War was?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Listen, I want y'all to, I'm not playing. I want y'all to hear this. I'm about to explain a few things real quick. This about to get so funny. Watch this.
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do.
How government was going to run, the freedoms, oh my God, of what people could and could not do. Notice how she didn't specifically point out a certain group of people or where they could or could not do. She said how government is ran. The freedoms of what people could and could not do. Hold up.
Was going to run the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do.
Of what people could and could not do. People. We understand that now, right? Y'all about to, you see where I'm going, right? Okay? Hold up. Hold up. We just getting started. Yes. When I titled this, I said they glitched and slipped up and told the truth. Oh my God. Wait till the other stuff I'm about to get into, but this is just point one. And then she pointed back at the guy and asked him a question and it was like,
what do you think the cause of the Civil War was?
What do you think the cause of the Civil War was? As if it's debatable. Listen, as if it's debatable. Wait a minute, you gave him your answer. Why turn it back on him as if there should be something else added? Or it could be something else added. What you just stated was a statement, but we can't consider it a blank statement. This is something that you firmly believe was the cause of the Civil War and what it was about. But then you turned it around and put it back on the person that's asking the question. We don't know who that person is. Do you know for sure? or you're guessing and you want to know what he felt about that. That's what it sounds like to me. Listen, this is what I was told the Civil War was about. What do you think the Civil War was about? That's exactly what you are seeing on display right now, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a big problem with that. We're going to get into that, but let's hear his answer.
I'm sorry?
I'm not running for president. I wanted to see your view on the cause of the Civil War.
I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government. We need to have capitalism.
Hold up. He said, now, I'm not the one that's running for president. I wanted to hear your take on it. That's very important. That kind of forced her into China, going into a little bit more detail.
And I think it always comes down to the role of government. We need to have capitalism. We need to have economic freedom. We need to make sure that...
Hold on. We need to have... Hold on. We need to have capitalism. We need to slow it down. We need to have more economic freedom. We. Very vague. Very vague. She's not pointing out who. You know how these politicians do it.
We need to have capitalism. We need to have economic freedom. We need to make sure that we do all things so that individuals have the liberties so that they...
Wait a minute. We need to make sure that we need to do all things so that individuals... Hold on. Slow it down. Slow it down. Go back.
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War...
In the beginning, she said it was an easy question. But if it was so easy, you had to turn it back on him and ask him, what does he think the Civil War means? He like, well, I'm not the one running for president. Keep in mind, look, listen to this pattern. Easy question. Making it all about business, trade, and commerce. Technically, these are the things she pointing out.
I'm not running for president. I wanted to see your view on the cause of the Civil War.
I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government. We need to have capitalism. We need to have...
The role of government. She think it comes down to the role of government.
We need to have capitalism. It always comes down to the role of government.
It always comes down to the role of government.
I think it always comes down to the role of government. We need to have capitalism. We need to have economic freedom. We need to make sure that we do all things so that individuals have the liberties so that they can have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do or be anything they want to be without government getting in the way.
Wait a minute. Will government get in the way of your freedom of speech? Your freedom to have religion? Hypothetically speaking, let's just say yes, right? Let's just answer that and say yes. For all people. Now, let's just hypothetically say yes for all people. They will get in the way. Wait a minute. How does the government get in the way of something that you should be having? Listen, one of the constitutional rights is freedom of speech. Wait a minute. The government can get in the way of that? Uh-oh. 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 So you're admitting that the government gets in the way. The government is corrupt. But we need to make sure that the government, now who are we putting that on? Notice how I always point back, right, censorship. Y'all listening? Notice how I always, every time I answer people's questions about who exactly do we point the blame on. And when I say the government, a lot of the government workers get upset. They get mad at me because they are blue and white collar government workers. But they are not policymakers at all. Okay? And they get mad because the government is cutting their check. Now, I want you to understand that it's deeper than the check that you're being cut by the government because you're working for them. It's deeper than that. If the government could stand there and take away something that they allegedly gave to you at any given time for any given reason, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to the people? What does that mean for the people? Those same people that she was referring to earlier that should have these so-called freedoms to do all these, again, economic, business, trade things. But let's not jump the gun here. Keep in mind, she's still referring to the topic of civil war. Notice how we're having those same exact issues right now. Wait a minute. If she's explaining that was the cause of the Civil War, they're giving us hint after hint after hint that another one is approaching. Are y'all ready for this? Y'all see what I'm about to get into? It's getting deeper. Right now, we at the surface. Right now, I'm attempting to crack the asphalt. Right now with you. We're going to go deeper. Because everything I'm talking about, this is so deep. Everything that she just explained that's relating to the cause of the Civil War is happening still. Right now. Did we see any changes? No. That's being exposed. This also exposes another thing. I'm about to get into it. Let me wrap this one up real quick.
Freedom to do or be anything they want to be without government getting in the way.
In the year 2023, it's astonishingly deep. You answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
Now he got upset. He said in the year 2023, how are you able to answer that question without mentioning the term slavery? This is about to get real deep. Let's just hear her answer.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
Woo! Hold on. After all of that, she said 2020. He said, the guy asked her, in the year 2023, I asked you that question. How are you not able to answer it without, how are you able to answer it without mentioning slavery? She says,
2023, it's astonishingly deep. You answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
what do you want me to say about slavery? Again, some of y'all are led to believe. I just got a message from YouTube. Hold up. Okay. Okay, YouTube is here. Okay. All right, YouTube is here. If y'all, I swear to God, if y'all see me freeze, break up, say it immediately. I wonder if it happened. I wonder. Anyway, yeah, my bad, because that just popped up. That's an email. They here now. They in the chat now. YouTube is here now. Y'all can say hi to YouTube. Don't be shy. Ain't nobody but some blue or white collar people working for some folk that we can't see. Let's be real. The same situation with these politicians. You voting for your best impersonator of somebody that's making pretend like they doing something for us when they not. They got to answer to somebody higher. The same thing. So, you know, go ahead. You can say hi to them. They not doing it. It's the people above them. I ain't putting it on the people that's trying to get some money, feed their family. It ain't their fault. It's not. It's not. It's the people above them. It's the people above them. And they got to do their job if they want to keep it.
Next question.
Woo! And then she left it alone, smiled, hold on,
Next question.
stepped back and said, next question. You two get ready. Because what I'm about to get on is the next thing that happened. So right after that came out, hold on. 1 second. Right after that came out, your boy Joe Biden issued a statement on his official Twitter account. This is his official Twitter account. This ain't no cap. This is official. On his official Twitter account, he retweeted this video that was posted by Biden Harris HQ. Apparently they, some little burner account, he probably got some folks working on that account. He retweets it and says it was about slavery. Now listen, hold on. She was able to answer the question without mentioning slavery. Why? The only way you're gonna know that is if you know who she is. What has she been through? How was she raised?
Please.
So, okay, hold on. We about to get into it right now. Her full name, Nimarata Nikki Haley. Nimarata Nikki Haley. Does that sound American? Nimarata Nikki Haley. She was born 1972. Y'all ready? To two parents from Punjab, Hindustan. Hold on. Two immigrant parents from Hindustan. All right? In Bamberg, South Carolina. We walking it slow. I'm about to show you something. She was born in Bamberg, South Carolina, y'all. Now, what I want to show y'all is the census record of Bamberg Town, South Carolina. Listen to me. Total population, 3,000. You see this? Right up under that. Hispanic or Latino, 24. Non-Hispanic or Latino, 3,000. Population of what race? Wait a minute, 2,900. White alone, you know how they doing this in status now, 1,156. so-called black or African American alone, 1,770. This means that she was born and raised in an area that's majority Niji. Okay? We're gonna walk it down. I ain't lying, this is the census record. Sticker playing? Right here. Bamberg Town, South Carolina. Right here. I ain't lying. That's it right there. So, she was born Bamberg, South Carolina, Bamberg County Hospital, to two immigrant parents from Hindustan. The reason why they moved to South Carolina was because her father was working on his, I believe he was working on his major. Oh, let me double check that. Nah, he earned his PhD in 1969 from the University of British Columbia. Then they moved, him and his wife, they moved to South Carolina. So he became a professor of biology at Voorhees College. Voorhees College. Voorhees University. Voorhees University is predominantly what, y'all? And let me give you a hint. Here are some graduates. Hold on. Here's some graduates of Voorhees University. Right here. Huh? It ain't kicking yet? Hold on, it ain't kicking yet? Now, hold on, her father. Here goes some people on the campus. Right here. Y'all ain't get it yet? Massachusetts Hall. South Carolina. It's an HBCU. So he became a professor of biology at an HBCU. This is Denmark, South Carolina. So he was a teacher of biology. Now her mother got her master's degree in education. And she taught for 7 years in Bamberg, South Carolina, in their public school system. So again, majority Niji people. That the Hindustanis was teaching. Both of them was technically teachers. Right? We getting all this, right? Okay. Oh, man. I want y'all to look at something else. About to pull it up real quick. Hold on. I'm getting it right now. I thought I had it on my desktop, but I got to get it. All right, here you go. Oh, shoot. I got to pull it up first. Then, there you go. That's her yearbook photo. Now, and I want y'all to be for real now. When you see, this is the thing about we can't go off of descriptions. I was talking about that before. We can sometimes but not all the time. Like when we going off of descriptions alone, it's going to be difficult. Because immediately, all of y'all in the chat, are y'all going to claim that she's Hindustan when y'all first see her? Matter of fact, chat, what y'all, when you first see her, like right now, what you gonna say? And by the way, she not mixed. Both of her parents from the same area in Hindustan. Right. Y'all gonna say she look, okay. Okay, now some people say she look Latino. European woman, okay. Latino or white? Cuban? Hindustan, Middle Eastern, okay. She's a Rican. This is her yearbook. Now, she probably the same age as a lot of y'all out there that may be watching later or that's watching now. Oh, I wanted to show something else. Here we go. lot of, right. But as soon as you see her picture, this is right now. What you gonna say now? Right here is right now. She didn't grew up with Niji, went to school with the Niji, stayed in South Carolina, and became the governor of South Carolina. She ain't really have no political background, but don't forget that her parents were were immigrants, came over here, 1969, no background, no political background. She was born in 1972. She went to schools with the Niji. She was the treasurer she used to work for her family's clothing company. After that, she served as the treasurer and the president of the National Association for Women Business Owners, National Association of Women Business Owners. She ran to become one of the South Carolina's House of Representatives. In 2004, she served 3 terms. No political background. Just stepped in. Basically, she came off the street and became a politician? She came from the same schools our folks did. And she became a politician. And made it. That don't sound right to me. But another thing that don't sound right to me, here go the catch, is that she said what she said without mentioning slavery when she was asked what caused the Civil War. And she was in school with our people. I'm letting it sink in. I'm drinking coffee too. It's crazy, ain't it? So she's right now, she's running for president up against Donald Trump. Now she gonna use that as leverage. That I just want y'all to be heads up. She could use that to her advantage and say that she went to the same schools as y'all did. Again, she did not mention slavery. Both of her parents were in school as teachers. In other words, they should know about the Civil War and what it was all about. Did she choose not to mention slavery? Or she knows the truth about the cause of the Civil War, which had nothing to do with slavery, in which I've been explaining this entire time. In fact, I did it 4 or 5 times over. I gave you 4 main reasons, or was it 3? It was either 3 or 4 main reasons as to the cause of Civil War. And not one time was it about fighting over slavery. But notice how Joe Biden is saying that it was about slavery. He stepped out of his way as if she's a threat to him. Go on Twitter, retweet what she said as a video, and go put up a caption that say it was about slavery. Nothing else. This is, ladies and gentlemen, a prime example of trying to control the narrative. Again, we already established that she grew up in a predominantly Neji area. Her parents, both of them, taught in a predominantly Neji area. In those school systems, we know for a fact that Hindustans are very strict on their children's education. She went to predominantly Neji schools and got taught the exact same education. When she was asked about the Civil War, she did not mention slavery, but she was criticized for not mentioning it at all. For not mentioning it at all. The issue with this is, she said,
government getting in the way.
Thank you. And in the year 2023, it's astonishing to me that you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
what do you want me to say about slavery? Clearly lets you know. This is why, and look, for those of you that do not know that you have been telling a lie when it comes to the critical race theory. Matter of fact, let's go into it right now. The critical race theory. And I'm gonna be bringing some stuff up, playing some other videos. Y'all, the critical race, hold on. Before I jump into the critical race theory, let me play one more video. Hold on, because I'm about to smash this. Let me play this video real quick. We have a problem because it's some older people out there that are holding on for dear life to lies. And they think, and I'm warming this up right now, and they think that we are supposed to.
Let's go to Missouri, where school board faces backlash after
that we are supposed to do something about it. And the only way that we could be able to do something about it is to vote people in to become politicians. I'm gonna say again, this lady, Nikki Haley, grew up in our neighborhoods went to our schools and became a politician. And she's not from, well, her parents are not from here. She do not look like us. Y'all said what she looked like. Again, that's another reason why we got to get rid of trying to say, oh, that person looked like this person looked like that. Because nobody off the break, I'm going to be real with y'all. If I wouldn't have told y'all, or you wouldn't have known that she was from Hindustan, y'all wouldn't have said Middle Eastern. Like the majority of y'all was like, definitely Puerto Rican, European. And that's more doable because that's y'all being realistic. But that Middle East, some of y'all was saying Middle Eastern. I don't buy that. Y'all wouldn't have called her Middle Eastern. I wouldn't have called her Middle Eastern. I'm being real. I would have never stated that she was Middle Eastern just by looking at her. But the problem that I'm having in a video I'm getting ready to play for y'all is that our people, these older people that we have in our communities that, you know, some of y'all may call leaders, I call foolish. I'm gonna say this again. That some of y'all may call leaders, I call foolish. I'm talking about foolishness. And they keep repeating the same thing over and over and over as if something gonna change. And here, hold on. And then look, and they get on the younger folk. They always get on the younger folk because we trying to make change in the right direction. When we see that there's a problem, we pointing it out. Like, nah, what have they been doing for us? Nothing. All right, so let's go about it this way. And we get held back because of the older people. Listen, not all of y'all. I'm not talking about all of y'all. I'm talking about, and especially when I play this video, you're going to hear what I'm talking about. It's the same old, every year. It's a repeating cycle. Well, we told them it's about us not getting out there voting. We're not there. We're not out there voting. And y'all complain about this and complain about that, but y'all not voting. But nigga, what? What has voting done for us? Name a time. Name a legislation. Name something that benefited us ever in history dealing with this government. Name it. And I'm talking about intrigue us in that direction. And then maybe people would go vote. But at the same time, people around my age and younger know better than that. But again, here go Exhibit A. And this is a lot of people doing this exact same thing. Listen.
Go to Missouri, where a school board faces backlash after withdrawing an anti-racism resolution. In a controversial move, the Francis Howell School District, one of Missouri's largest, has a predominantly white student population with about 87%. They revoked an anti-racism resolution to address racial discrimination and promote healing within the district. The Francis Howell School District's board, now led by conservative members elected in recent years, voted to retract the resolution. The decision comes amidst a nationwide trend of heated debates surrounding critical race theory and efforts to restrict teachings on race and sexuality. The board's move has...
Okay, I don't know if some of y'all understood that, right? Let me translate it in more simpler terms. Roland Martin is reporting on the Missouri School Board. In fact, I'm about to get into that again because they did something recently here that was kind of iffy, but retracted it. I'm gonna get into that. This was like 5 or 6 months ago. There was a law that they came up, well, actually it was a pledge rather. It was a pledge that they came out with indicating that they're gonna get rid of all racial discrimination within the school. The school board voted on it, allegedly, because they retracted it. Their excuse was, oh, they didn't sign their vote, or whatever. They came up with an excuse. So it was an anti-racial or racism pledge, and they pulled it away. And that's what he's referring to, this one right here. Calling it a resolution, and it wasn't a resolution. It was just a pledge.
Sparked outrage among community members and activists who argue the revocation undermines progress that perpetuates racial division.
It perpetuates racial division because they pulled this away. I'm gonna get into that in a second, but here's his solution now. Watch this.
Well, no shock here. This is what you're gonna get, Julian, when you have folk who don't vote. His
solution, listen, his solution is This is what you get when you have folks that don't vote every single year. I hear people his age and up state the exact same thing, and voting never got us anywhere within this government. But it gets deeper. Watch this, because he talking, you know how you gotta talk to a few people. Watch this.
These folks, these Moms for Liberty people and others are running for school board elections, and folk don't take it seriously. This is how they get elected. This is how they then they control public policy.
Roland, you're absolutely right. I don't know how many times we can have the story, tell the story about voting, about why it's so important. Reverend Jackson said, the same hand that picked peaches can pick presidents.
She quoted Reverend Jackson. Everybody in the chat know what Reverend Jackson did. Everybody. Again, got out and vote. Keep in mind, I want y'all to understand the history. The 1960s and 1970s, our people were fighting for a lot of things dealing with civil rights. At least we thought. We thought we had civil rights. But again, I exposed to you all that we weren't even citizens at that time. In order to become a voter in this system, you had to do away with what you had, meaning that you have some form of independence as a sovereign. Because think about that. If you're not a citizen of a particular country, then what are you? You can't be a slave to a system that you're not a part of. So don't say slave. We were in control before the 1960s came around. We had sovereign rights prior to that. Our people had lands, jobs, businesses, houses, and money. Banks, we had it. And things got turned around once the college and university students were led astray by people in political positions to steer the directions around to make the so-called people of color become black, meaning become dead to the government and be utilized as dead people. Everybody agreeing right now to call themselves black. Prior to that, you would not see that prior to 1960 here. That is a political agenda to kill you legally, but in a political manner. It's beyond paperwork at that point. Every video that I showed y'all, the elders was telling them young folk not to do that. And they did it anyway. And the elders lost their jobs, lost their houses, lost their land, lost their farms. They lost everything they owned just because of the idiots, basically, became voters. I'm gonna be real. And then turn right around and we still got, and she got to be 60 something, maybe 70 years old, talking about, well, we gotta vote. We gotta vote. Same thing with Roland Martin. Vote for what, y'all? What? Well, we gotta put a so-called black person in there. Okay, so you gonna put a dead person in there. I ain't never seen a dead person get up and walk. I ain't never seen a dead person build something. The last time I checked, if I'm hearing a dead person, we got a shotgun to that head and they, and we moving on and making sure that we collected our collectibles and solving puzzles so we can beat the game. Resident Evil, but I'm just saying, that's the last time I checked. And when I say dead people, I'm referring to it, again, politically, because you have nothing considering yourself as black. There is no such thing as black power. It does not exist. It never existed back then. What makes you think it exists right now? And you fighting for the same thing? But see, what if you were fighting for it wrong? And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I've been trying to tell y'all older people that. You came into the fight thinking that we should be fighting for black people when black people don't exist. They forced you into becoming dead people, non-existent. So they don't have to pay attention to you. Why do they keep telling you that they got to continuously study reparations for black people? Because there's no such thing as reparations for black people. But if you were to say, okay, wait, it happened to colored, it happened to Negro, it happened to Indians, then you got to fight. But no, you turning around settling for something that this goddamn government gave you to keep you at the ground so they could use you as their pawn pieces. And you ain't see that this was a chess game by now? Because you sure ain't got no, you ain't the knight, you ain't the bishop, you ain't the queen, you ain't the king. You ain't the rook neither. You are the pawn. And they just continuously playing chess and putting you at the forefront because you the first one that's going to get crossed. Because you ain't there for protection. You there to commit suicide. You dead to them. You a dead entity. That's what black means. In a chess game, if you grabbing the black pieces and you grabbing the white pieces, who go first? Does black go first? Or white go first? Say it in the chat, y'all. In the game of chess, does the black pieces go first or does the white pieces go first? If you ain't never played chess, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was on a chess team. I will kick your tail in chess. White always go first. I'm talking about time chess. I will kick your tail. Don't you do it. But I'm just saying, yeah, I got the right to brag because I was on the chess team. I won awards. So anyway, that's all right. We about to have some events where y'all can see me in person. You can try to do, you could try. You got 15 seconds, so I'm going to checkmate. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Anyway, so we got the older people going like this. And watch how, I'm going to skip back a tad bit. Watch how she come after the young folks for saying something. Watch this.
How many times we can have the story, tell the story about voting, about why it's so important. Reverend Jackson said, the same hand that picked peaches can pick presidents. But we don't want to pick presidents. Too many of us want to sit down, tell these stupid stories about, well, what has Biden done for me lately?
Tell these listen, so many people want to sit down, young folk want to sit down and say stupid stories about what has Biden done for me lately. Prime example of what we don't need in our communities no more. I'm telling y'all, and it's the reason why I can't understand how a president has to be older in order to become president. Some of y'all not thinking right. Some of y'all not thinking right, and you older. Like right now, a lot of y'all would say that she's elder. Keep in mind, the title elder has to be gained by respect. I'm not going to call her an elder. I'm going to call her an older lady. Same thing with Roland Martin, older guy. There's no way I'm going to put a title of elder on there until they earn my respect. And when you coming out your mouth sideways like this, you ain't no elder of mine. I would not want you to, elders lead a congregation. Elders lead communities. Elders lead families. You have not earned that respect.
Well, what has he not done? I remember years ago.
Think about that. It's so many different things that we could name that Biden has not done. Name one thing that Biden has done for our people. You know what? Again, this is bad. This makes us look bad. Right here. This makes us look so bad. She fixed her face to say that. Y'all not listening?
Voting, about why it's so important. Reverend Jackson said, the same hand that picked peaches can pick presidents. But we don't want to pick presidents. Too many of us want to sit down, tell these stupid stories about, well, what has Biden done for me lately? Well, what has he not done? I remember years ago sitting with Maxine Waters, and a young sister came up and started.
And a young sister came up and what?
Dissing the Congressional Black Caucus.
Dissing the Congressional Black Caucus. And then?
Said, we don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do this, you don't do that.
You don't do this, you don't do that. I mean, what has the Black Caucus done? I'll wait. In the chat, name one thing the Black Caucus has done. I'm talking about one thing, y'all. Please. Name one thing. Just one. The Black Caucus. Name one thing. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Yeah, she referenced Jesse Jackson. She sure did. She sure did. You know what type of time she on. And that's the foolish fool they used in order to promote African American, a term that ain't had nothing to do with us. That's a damn misnomer. And then she turned around and say this.
And she said, you don't understand what we prevent. Our presence prevents a lot of devilment. And that
Maxine Waters, hold up, listen.
Stories about, well, what has Biden done for me lately?
Listen,
well,
y'all.
What has he not done? I remember years ago sitting with Maxine Waters, and a young sister came up and started dissing the Congressional Black Caucus. Said, we don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do this, you don't do that. And she said, you don't understand what we prevent. Our presence prevents a lot of devilment.
Y'all hear that? The Black Caucus presence prevents a lot of deviling. Huh? Let's break that down. Y'all presence stop the government from doing a lot of alleged harm. Has any of this been made public? Listen. Have they ever pointed out an issue that they corrected by their presence, where it was on the verge of becoming an issue for our people, but just because of their presence, it was stopped in its tracks? I dare you to name the website, the book, the video, the audio. I dare you. I never, ever seen out of my years of life so far where the Black Caucus actually exposes that they prevented deviling from occurring against us. What she just stated is called utter bullshit. Bad sociology. BS. So again, she took up for Jesse Jackson, Maxine Waters, as if they did anything. I'm talking about anything. And the Black Caucus. As if they did anything for us, for our benefit. These are the type of people that need to go. These are the type of people that should not have the mic. These are the type of people that can keep their opinions to themselves. They need to go sit down. Listen to what I'm talking about. Listen to my generation. Listen, I done stated a lot of solutions, a lot, but they are being gatekeeped by these type of people right here. I'm actually glad that a lot of people understand what I'm talking about. I see somebody just say gatekeeper. Right. I'm talking about, that's who they are right here. I'm not about to play this whole video. I'm not. We'll come back to this later because that's not that, But the problem is that folks his age and up listen to that type of stuff and feed into it and be the ones that be hooked on listening to the news and what they got to say as if they presenting the truth just because sometimes they report what's happening locally in your area. And then they mix in their agenda at the same time and y'all think the whole thing right. Damn, ain't that the same shit that Google doing? As a search engine? Matter of fact, isn't that the same thing that any search engine is doing? Isn't that the same thing of your discovery portion of the app that you're utilizing is doing? TikTok? Trying to give you your things that you're interested in and what they want to fit in at the same time to become your best interest? TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it's the same thing. It's an algorithm. And they're fighting for control over your attention, over your imagination, and over your mindset. That's what the fight is about. So when somebody say spiritual war, now you know what this is all about. It's not about the person next to you. It's not about the person behind you or in front of you. It's about the person that you look at every day when you wake up to fix yourself in the mirror when you about to head out. Don't get upset at me because I'm pointing out the obvious and sometimes you don't catch it. This is the reason why I explain it in multiple different ways so you can understand. They lied. Again, to go back to, because I'm about to get into something else, especially critical, matter of fact, forget it. Let's go to critical race theory. So notice how they was talking about the Francis Howell School Board District at that time, doing away with a particular law, pledge that had to deal with anti-racism within their school district. Well, they approved that, of course, due to the outspoken people about the loss of George Floyd. Then right behind that, they said, nah, that's enough. Let's get rid of it. And they got rid of it. Now, recently, I want y'all to see something. Recently, that same board, that same school board, voted to remove Black History courses. Now, I want this to be known. They had to retract this because this was too much of a big deal. They retracted this. They said they're gonna eventually they're gonna come out with another curriculum that they approve of. But I want the agenda. This is what I want to point out. I want to point out the agenda of what they were trying to get rid of. Is what you would call critical race theory, teaching the critical race theory. Heavily criticized the Black history and literature courses and pushed the false claim that the electives included the teaching of critical race theory. But that's exactly what Black history literature is all about in these schools. Oh, it get deep. It get deep. Because it won't ever be politically neutral. Ever. Ever. And it won't be politically accurate. And it won't be accurate at all. It's always going to push racism, regardless of how you look at it. Think about that. The critical race theory part. You in school learning about black kids, and keep in mind, this area right here is predominantly white. The Francis Howe area, predominantly white. Notice how in that video he said, I think he said 85.9 or 87.9% is white. They were getting taught this as of recently. They just installed that not too long ago. Because of that situation, okay, 2021. It says 2021. Dealing with that George Floyd stuff. Now, again, an all-white school board in Missouri voted Thursday to remove Black history and Black literature courses that had been taught at the Francis Howe School District since 2021. This ain't old. This is new. 2021 is how long they've been teaching this. But again, if they teaching this to all white students, what they gonna teach? Or they gonna teach about what? Martin Luther King? Jesse Jackson? Where they might sprinkle a little bit of Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman? No. Are they gonna teach about how whites was at the top and blacks is at the bottom? That's what they gonna teach. That's what they teach in our schools. That's what you're familiar with. You're familiar with the exact same history. Listen. You know for a fact that what you were taught in school is the so-called blacks was at the bottom, the whites was at the top, no matter how you look at it. Jim Crow, slavery, you name it. Discrimination in school, desegregation, civil rights movement. All of these things had to do, even the Civil War. They gonna talk about slavery with that too. But all of these things was having to put the so-called blacks at the bottom and the whites at the top. Dane, what is your point? My point is this. They calling it a critical race theory, but it's critically important. What's critical about it is that it's critically important that we teach this. Otherwise, the so-called blacks will no longer be blacks. They will no longer be dead. They will want to be a part of the whites, which is the more privileged status that the government allows as a citizen within this government. Sorry about that. I'm having to blow my nose a little bit. My nose getting stuffed up. But that's the critical part. And when it comes to the race, what's the finish line? Keep in mind, it's not racist of people. It's not. I exposed to you where that race came from. I exposed to you where the term racism came from. Gave you this. Named you the people. I'm talking about all the way back to the Caucasoid and the Negroid, all of that. Who these people came up with this stuff. That's not realistic. Critical race. It's critical for a particular group of people to know about this information. Or is it critical for all people to know about this side of a race and this side of a race? One is winning, one is losing. And if it was all true, listen, if it was all true, like how they, want to claim it to be, it's being taught in school, I'm talking about from the 1960s and up, then why is it still called a theory to this day? Why is it called a theory? If it's true, it is. This is definitely there. Oh my goodness, y'all. I really do need y'all to understand how deep this is. Critical race theory a theory. This is something that has not been proven. An idea, a guess, an assumption. Listen to how deep that get. They're teaching this in school and have been since the 60s. They have been teaching ideas, guesses, assumptions. Listen, look, break it down. This is an agenda to keep the people separate because, again, they cannot prove a thing. Well, my wife and I exposed the civil rights movement. The main thing that we exposed was that it had nothing to do, in a large manner, about a person's civil rights. Because, again, it is not your civil right to become a citizen of a country. To go back to that quickly, briefly, you were not a citizen in the 1960s of this country or of this government. That means you had no form of citizenship. Then how were you here? Because everybody that came from Africa, as an example, that comes over here to the United States still to this day is fighting for citizenship. When they do get granted citizenship, they will be carrying dual citizenship and a nationality ID. Our people who are indigenous to this landmass inadvertently made a mistake by accepting their form of citizenship to this foreign government. And since you are indigenous to this landmass, you're not able to carry dual citizenship like other foreigners can. The status of white, if you look at everybody that is counted as white as the status of white, carrying those privileges as the status of this government, in this government, excuse me, all of them are foreigners, and the majority of them have dual citizenship. This is not a game, ladies and gentlemen. We have been working backwards this entire time since the 1960s. This is why you don't see progression. Because if critical race theory actually, a critical race, that situation, those things that they wanted to give us to make it, those ideas that they wanted to give us to make it seem as if we're below, then right now our people won't be able to get houses. Our people won't be able to get jobs. Our people won't be able to get cars. Our people won't be able to get education, degrees. They can't become doctors, lawyers. They can't become, you name it. If we were being so suppressed when we can't do anything, then what do you call what we're doing now? So what they're teaching in the school is racism. They're not teaching history because that wasn't history. Now, I'm not saying that prejudice and racism against one another, prejudice technically didn't exist, but that's not what this country was built on. Don't forget, you didn't become a citizen until 1960s. Prior to that, what were you? Some of y'all will say slave, but you got to prove that. Keep in mind, they forced that same slavery critical race theory on you in school. Because if it was true, then paperwork will back it. You will be able to have your ancestors' manumission script or manumission letter. As if they had, look, they've been manumitted from slavery. They made you think that slavery had all to do with chains and shackles. Y'all were captured as captives from some part of the west coast of Africa and brought over here by way of a slave ship. All this stuff never existed. There's no such thing as a slave ship. They never told you the people that so-called captured these captives. No, yet nobody told you because they want you to feel like it happened. They want you to make believe that it happened. They want you to use your imagination. This is all a part of critical race theory. And then it's older people out there that get mad when I expose this to you. When I'm just here to make you think for yourself again, because a lot of our people are not thinking for themselves. Instead, you want to listen to philosophers. Like, for example, this area is named after Francis Howe. Francis Howe is an American anthropologist. Anthropology got us in the same position that we are in right now when it comes to our belief system. Anthropologists were the ones that told us that we came from Anthropologists were the ones that told us we came from Africa. You heard what I said? And I told you anthropology didn't start until Franz Boas, a German, came over here. They call him the grandfather of anthropology. He started it all. The government streamlined that. They had to have ideas. They had to have a theory in mind in order to push themselves to the top. This is the reason why you know they wasn't at the top in the 1700s and the 1800s. Because it wasn't until the 1900s when things got to change in their favor. Yeah, they might have wrote themselves down on paper as becoming the ultimate, supreme people in 1871 and made everybody else inferior. But technically, everybody had to agree to become colonized in order for that to happen. Colonization is not immediate. Colonization happens over time. That's why I told you, for example, the Civil War. The West Coast, all of the West Coast were not involved in the Civil War. But again, they're going to run with that critical race theory and come up with some lies to include places like California in the Civil War. I debunked that like 3 times on this channel. Again, the Civil War had to deal with the North and the South, the Confederate and the Union. At first, it was the Union States before it was called the United States. They became united once they, this is how you know that they lied about slavery as well as far as the Civil War, because it wasn't about, the Southerners wanted to abolish it. I mean, the Northerners wanted to abolish it and the South wanted to keep it going. Because if they did not have employees, then how was the North going to run their business? Says that they had. They are not going to do away with employees. It was a labor dispute. They weren't fighting over slavery. They were fighting over pay. Now, that's one side of it. Don't forget that the unions right now in your job fight for your alleged right. Listen, your alleged right for you to be treated at your job and for you to be paid. A union is fight, It's catching on, ain't it? That's what the union was coming after the Confederates for. So yes, certain people got paid, but they got paid little to nothing. Until the union said, hey, hold up, y'all. If we could raise the prices up on something, I mean, maybe we can pretend like there's something that we could tax. We could throw taxes out there and tax y'all for that. How about that? The Confederates is like, you know what? That's a good idea. So who we gonna make pay these taxes? The employees. Make them pay the taxes. But keep in mind, your business got to pay taxes too, but just make sure that your employees paying them. Take the taxes out their check. Make it look like you paying it. I don't care. Do it like that. Y'all want to compromise and do it that way? Because that's what's going on right now. The same thing that happened back then is still happening right now. Ain't nothing changed. It's the same thing. You paying taxes, ain't you? And it don't matter if you in the South or the North. You paying taxes? You got a union at your job? If you doing labor work? If you are a laborer right now, you have a union. Am I making this up? So when they say slavery, think employment. That's what I keep trying to tell you. I've been saying this for years. It's not about chains and shackles. It's niggas working. And it was more than just us. And we know that because it's more than just us now. Everybody had to come over here and work. Everybody. This ain't about all my ancestors suffered from slavery. So did theirs. That's why I told you. That's why they not handing you no reparations. You fighting for the wrong thing. You come at them niggas from taking the lands from our ancestors. Keep in mind the money ain't come to the 1930s anyway. Nigga, I said 1930s, not 18. They not about to cut you no check. They didn't have money. Not the greenbacks. Nigga, you want some coins, nigga? That's what you want? Because that's what it was. 1863, 1865. Coins. You want that? You gonna be satisfied with a gold coin? Your shiny gold coin? Because that's what they gonna give you in return. And then look, here's another reason. You cannot right now prove right now anybody that was born in America cannot prove that their ancestors came from Africa. Right now. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. I'm guaranteeing that. I put that on my family. I put that on my heart. I put that on everything I love. Nobody out there can prove that they came from Africa. Nobody that's indigenously born to this landmass. Because if you are African, you should have a dual citizenship, nationality ID card right now. If you do not have a dual citizenship, you see what I'm saying? Nationality ID card, then you are a fraud. Every single person that comes from Africa, that come here, that should be the ones that's labeled African American, carry a dual citizenship card. Guess what? It's not gonna say African American. It's gonna say their tribe, Nigerian American, Ghanaian American. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's another thing. You can't pinpoint the tribe your family from. You won't ever be able to. Ever. I don't care what book you pull up. I don't care what Wikipedia telling you. I don't care what you pull up on Google. Nigga, you are from here and you lying to my people. This whole time. Just like if you disagree with them older people telling us we need to go vote, we need to go vote. But then you turn around and say all man came from Africa. You listening to the same people that them older folk was listening to, thinking that we need to go vote in a system that we did not create. You're doing our ancestors a disservice right now. You're being disobedient to your ancestors right now. You spitting on the graves of all of your ancestors that are buried in America. You can't go visit Africa right now and go kiss the grave of your ancestors in Africa right now. You know why? Because them same DNA tests that they trying to tell you to take can't tell you where the graves are located in Africa that you could go visit your family members. That is impossible. Not for no goddamn blood test or no spit of some saliva, nigga. Huh? Even the genie in the bottle can't do that. That is impossible. In order for you to find out who your ancestors are by way of a genealogy DNA test, is for you to dig up each and every grave here in America first. Because again, they can only trace your stuff back to a living being. So you know that doesn't make sense. Because all of your ancestors are dead. And they ain't dig nobody up. Now, a regular DNA test can only tell you about somebody that's alive unless they have a sample of your dead ancestors. If they don't have access to that, neither do you. That's why the Maury Show made cash money off of some, when it comes to 13-year-old, blah, 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 blah. Francis, how you are the father. You know why? Samples of living people. But you can't go historically back. That's impossible. You can't tell somebody's historical genetic makeup based off of living people, when your historical genetic makeup will consist of all deceased people. And each generation is multiplied by 4. 2 grandmothers, 2 grandfathers. Multiplied by 4 each time. That is impossible, nigga. Impossible. Wake up. We letting these folks get away with this critical race theory crap. And so what that they took out black literature, black history? That shit is trash anyway. Take it out. Dead history, dead literature. Nigga, did we write it? No. No. Did we write the black history books? No. Did we write the curriculums for black literature? No. If we did, name the company. I dare you. I'll Google it right now. Go ahead. That should be easily, Google. You know how you do it. The 3.5 second Google search. You know how you Google scholars do it. Well, let me find out who did it. Go ahead, I dare you. I'll pull it right up. I'm gonna wait right now. I dare you. Go ahead. None of our people wrote that. None of our people wrote that. And you know that. And you got these, I'm talking about the older people talking about, we need to go vote. We need to go vote. Doing this is a cycle that we have to break. Got mad and made them folks right here, look y'all, they retracted it. Hold on, let me zoom in right here. Missouri School Board to reinstate Black History classes with new curriculum. New. Again, if it's a theory, it still has to be proven. I don't care what new curriculum. Are we going to be able to agree upon what curriculum they're teaching? Are we going to be able to see an outline of what they're teaching? Or we got to wait until we sit in the school and listen to what the teacher is telling the students to know what is being taught? Why can't we ever see a transparent, outline of a curriculum that's being taught to our students? That's so-called white and so-called black schools. Again, that lady I was talking about earlier, Nikki Haley, grew up with our folks, went to school with our folks. If she became a politician, she can't change nothing. Asked about the Civil War, she ain't mentioned slavery. And folks going down her throat? Like she wrong? Or is it that you wrong? No, you better mention slavery. My ancestors went through slavery. And you can't name your fourth grandfather, your fifth great-grandmother, talking about some of your ancestors went through slavery. Nigga, where? What time period? What's their first and last name? Where did they live? Who did they work for? What plantation? I dare you. I dare you. Because the reason why I'm daring you is because if your ancestors worked for themselves, what's going to pull up is the fact that they had a job and they were getting paid and taking care of their families, just like everybody else. You won't ever be able to pull up slave records. That's Dane Calloway is telling you slave records do not exist at all. You will not find that. You were a contracted employee just like how you are right now. You apply for your position. Same thing with them. That's a contract. It ain't just football players and basketball players. It ain't just contractors. It's everybody working. You are signing a contract. That's an indenture. A contract is an indenture. You are an indentured servant. Now, I'm not belittling you. I'm telling you the truth. So again, when you hear slavery, you have to know that slavery is all about employment. All about employment. The Civil War ain't have nothing to do with that. They lied, y'all. The Union wanted to raise prices up. And the South got mad. Like, nah, we good where we at. The Union ain't have no land. Look, we talking about the South. The South had the majority of the crops. The South had the majority of the people compared to the North at that time. You know the North ain't win no Civil War. They compromised. The whole goddamn army went with the South, nigga. The whole army. I told you that. This is the reason why they're not trying to show you all the records of everybody who were officers of the Civil War, because that exposes the Civil War. They compromised. Ain't no way nobody win. They came together at the end and said, you know what? That taxes thing you was talking about, let's run with that. You know why? Because raising the prices up on our crops ain't gonna cut it unless we getting some cut out of that. That's what happened. Again, that was a labor dispute. You're not gonna cut off the hand that feeds you, because you will be ending up broke. The Union was not cutting off slavery. That does not make sense. They would not have employees to run their business. Think. They not about, after they had employees, you think they about to say, no, forget slaves, y'all. Forget employment. And they step in and do the job? Hell no. Yeah, they running a business. They got 15 plus employees. That's how you look at it. Well, that person had 35 slaves. That person had 35 employees. Don't listen to that goddamn story they giving you. Employees. People was working. And again, When a person say that they had slaves, 35 this, 150 that, notice how they never tell you the race of a person. Because it wasn't about race. When they show you the disembark and embark on slavevoyages.org, they don't never tell you the race. Because it wasn't about race. Look. Hold on. I'm about to show you something. So-called, look, I gotta blow my nose real quick. Slavevoyages.org database on the so-called transatlantic slave trade. No records, they just showing you numbers. Do you see a race? They showing you location, year range, an estimate, a roundabout. This shit ain't real. Because if they got these records, you should be able to get them. Why this got to be hidden? Ain't think about that, did you? They lying to you saying records stop at a certain time period. Then how can they tell you about the 1700s? If the records for you, for yourself, stop at 1830, whatever number they gonna lie about, the records was burnt up. Well, okay, well, how they got the information dating back? No, excuse me, dating back to 1501 right here. You see this? 1501. Where them records at? And it gotta be individual records. I mean, you talking about 624 went to Europe, 78 went to Caribbean. Total was 702. Nigga, who? You see how I made them change their numbers, right? Look, that's a mainland North America. From 1500 to 1875, 366,000. Prior to that, and I got the screenshots years ago, like I think it was 2017 when I did the other screenshots. It's gonna take me a second to pull that up. This number was sky high. It was in the millions. I got the screenshots. I'm sure y'all could go to way back and pull it up too. Just in case you think I'm lying. You can pull this up. Way back, put it in. Type in the date. Y'all know how to do it. If you don't know, hey, I told you. Go way back. That's the name of the website. Anyway, the whole point is this. They've been lying to you this entire time. And they don't care that they're lying to you. And then, of course, they're going to have people out there that look like you and I who are older, not elder, older, that's going to spit the same thing. Either they're getting something from it, because a lot of them are dealing with these fraternities or sororities who are set to be in the way, aka gatekeepers. They are supposed to be in the way of our progression. I'm telling you, they are in the way. Right, mercenaries, agents of chaos, hijackers. That's not a game. I don't care who they are. It's a lot of them out there, y'all. Y'all have to understand that look like you and I, that are in our way of our progression. Again, what was my solution that I came up with? Let me summarize this real quick before I move on to something else. My solution, I straight up told you. I said, listen, we need to be doing everything on our own. I'm not talking about buy black. There's no such thing. That's a dead entity. Shit, it wasn't even an entity. That's just straight dead. Dead on arrival. It's beyond buy black. It start from the ground up. You know how y'all like to use the grassroots this and the grassroots that? Grassroots. Y'all ain't got nothing from the grassroots up. You get donations from the Democrats or the Republicans. And their fans. Talking about something, you building something from the grassroots. Ain't no person that did the grassroots project did anything for us. Prime example was Black Lives Matter. And anybody else that was associated with that organization. A lot of those organizations that are put out in the forefront are there to distract us. They are in the way. Anytime we seen a video of people causing destruction and confusion, burning up this, tearing down that, was nothing but pale face. And they not doing that for free. They not no volunteers. Ain't no white folks doing anything like that for free. Ever. Ever. You won't ever see that. And that was the perfect time. You gotta wear a mask. Conceal identity. You can't tell who is who. Perfect time. You see how they set it up? It's all a game. Dick Gregory, what up? It's all a game. See the game they play? You can't tell who's who. So you put that, but you could definitely see that their skin complexion was pale. And wait a minute, let me sprinkle in some people that got brown skin complexions so it can look like they're working together. Let's make pretend like we got a police problem by causing a scene, a Hollywood scene from a movie to happen in real life, in real time. Let's make sure that we conveniently got somebody right there at that time to press record from their cell phone. And let's hurry up and doll up the body camera footage. No, we need to, make sure that we bleep out certain people's names. No, you bleeping out and editing certain information so you can't put two and two together because you know it's scripted. And sometimes the actors may go off the script and you need to, clean that up a little bit, right? But anyway, that get pushed out in the forefront. Our people like, okay, this happened. No, you know what, y'all? We got to do something about this. We got to do something about this. And then it's them people in the background that's rubbing their hands together like Birdman, like, we got these niggas. Let's give them a movement. It started off as a hashtag, and then all of a sudden, it goes viral overnight. All of a sudden, it goes viral overnight, and it's headed by some gay folk that ain't about having families progressing within our communities. Families ain't about going out there and adopting children and belittling the man, belittling the woman because the man is this and the man is that, and then here come the Me Too movement and all of it scripted. Here come the Me Too movement and the women's rights, and there's some some white women was out there trying to get y'all so-called black women to rush right into it. And y'all did, fell for it. Feminists, right? Look how that was all scripted back to back to back to back to further separate the people, especially us. Remember the woke movement? And now we got white folks talking about some woke this, woke that, all over the news, and they ain't talking about us. The woke movement was us. And then they got taken away immediately. Y'all did enough. No. Y'all ain't got to promote that black thing no more. We got them. We got the Black Lives Matter out there now. Let me get the woke movement. Let's take that so we can use that against each other as far as so-called whites are concerned. The Gambino guy, he came up with that woke song, right? Well, hold on, how it go? Stay woke. It was a whole movement, right? Y'all remember that, right? Everybody was getting behind Jordan Peele simultaneously. That's when, not Nope. What's the other one? And they were saying, oh, that's Kanye, y'all, that's Kanye. The other one, they going into that, Childish Gambino. Oh, man. What was the name of that movie, y'all? The Jordan Peele one. Get Out. Yeah, Get Out. Remember? All that was lined up, y'all. All that was lined up. Yeah. Childish Gambino. I said to myself, all right, people gonna catch it, one way or another. People gonna catch it. This is the time to catch it now. Because we moving into 2024. What you want to do about it? What you want to do about it? All right, let me get this stuff pulled up. Hey, look. Ain't no chucking, no jiving, no ducking, no hiding, no telling on people that's under assignment. Those are them people that fucked up our climate, changing up everything so you can't find it. Let's focus our people to focus our people, cause most of our people lose hope for our people. We choking the fan by revoking my people. We selling the fan, not promoting my people. You woke up today, it be different tomorrow. Stop or to follow with Lee Leonardo. Police killing innocent like a state motto. How much more time we gon' take this to sorrow? How many times we go marching for peace? We still got black people that die in the streets. From your brothers or racist police. The wars, none us is them races he lead. Brother, wake up. Sister, wake up. This ain't nothing but shit they made up. Religion is here to manipulate minds. Only books slave masters gave us to read. Only books slave masters gave us to teach. Only books slave masters gave us to preach. Only books slave masters gave us some peace. What they have heaven here on earth. Wake up. Pick your cape up. Pick your face up. This is shake up. No time for makeup. Injustice is a white supremacy. You both affect the melanated people too much. I'ma keep raising my fist to the sky. I'ma keep raising my fist to the sky. This ain't for everybody. This is only for them conscious melanated people. I was muted. Oh my goodness. My apologies, y'all. I was muted. I apologize. I'm over here talking and everything. Y'all ain't, oh man, my bad, y'all. But all right, here we go. I'm pulling everything up. I just started the stage. Y'all should see it now. Inside of the 13% community server. So now y'all should be able to join me inside of there. Then I'm gonna bring people up on the panel. My apologies, y'all. I was muted. My apologies. Yeah, my wife texted me, "You're muted." I was like, "I'm muted." Oh man, I'm muted. I got my coffee cup was in the way of my stream deck, so I couldn't see it. All right, here we go. OCO, everybody coming in at 13% community server. Yeah, I apologize, y'all. Exclamation point 13%. If y'all could do me a favor, thumb up the video, like this video. that allow more people to see it. Those of you that couldn't catch the whole thing, I appreciate you all, for coming in and getting that portion right there. I am going to clip up the beginning part where YouTube was trying to mess everything up. I'm going to clip that out once I finish with this live stream. So the live stream should be down for a second so I could take that out and then it should come back up. Just in case you wanted to check it out later on, you didn't get a chance to see the whole thing. Let me shout out Carolina OJ. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate that. And Tyrone Webster, thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate that, y'all. Let me double check really quick. Make sure, yep. Okay, hold up. As I'm sure I missed a couple of people. Hold on. Hold on. All right, so actually, okay, here we go. Yeah, King A Hoods, thank you for becoming a member. Sheena's Intuitive Readings, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Beverly J. Jackson, thank you for becoming a member. Michael Pistol, thank you for becoming a member. And Volvo Rants, thank you for becoming a member. Rachel Matthews, thank you for becoming a member. Sean, thank you for becoming a member as well. And Red, thank you for the gifted membership. I appreciate that. James Stone, been a member for 11 months in a row. I appreciate that. Aboriginal Tactical, thank you for becoming a member. And Jalen Semin, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that as well. Sister Blue Dreamer, hey.
Set it on fire.
Gifted 5 memberships. I appreciate that, sis. Thank you. And Kimmy, thank you for your donation. Thank you, Kimmy. I'm in the 13%. Y'all can see me. I'm in there. I'm coming in there. We about to get it started. Sister Clay, thank you for your donation, sister. Thank you. I gotta show love to the people that show love. You know what I mean? Everybody been showing love, but those that sticking their neck out, they ain't really got to do all that. But I appreciate that, and I'm gonna let them know that. Deron Clark gifted 5
Set it on fire.
memberships. I appreciate that, brother. Smiley, thank you for becoming a member. Priscilla been a member for 18 months in a row. What up, sis? That's major. American EGX, thank you for becoming a member. Uncon Dom, thank you for the gifted membership. I appreciate that. And the donation. I see you. I appreciate that. Miss Rhonda has became a member and she donated too. I appreciate that, y'all.
Set it on fire.
Sergeant Jones, big dono.
It's up. Set it on fire.
I appreciate that, Sergeant Jones. Hey, you know I'm dropping 3 bombs because you put 3 bombs in there. I appreciate that. Red gifted another membership. What up, Red? I appreciate that, Red. What up, AJ? Been a member for 7 months in a row. All right, let's do it. Let's get into it. Devontae, thank you for the donation. Hold up. All right, let me see. All right. Y'all should be able to hear me inside the 13%. Y'all hear me, right? And the 13% community server, we good, right? Yep. All right. Here we go. All right, so this is what we gonna do. Now, rules. The people that I bring up onto the platform. Number 1, you gotta have a picture. That's number 1. I don't care how long you've been in here. I'm not bringing you up on this platform if I can't see what you look like. You gotta add a picture. I'm not bringing up the ones that got the... No, that's not happening. Because I don't want no trolling, none of that. Okay? You gotta have a picture. All right, here we go. The subject, don't forget we talking about the statement that Nikki Haley gave about the Civil War when she was asked what caused the Civil War, and why the fact that she, didn't mention slavery at all. They're getting her about that, and so is Joe Biden. I showed you all that right there in the thumbnail. Also, critical race theory and slavery. That we just right around that topic, right there. Basically, what I just covered throughout the live stream. Okay, and I'm not playing. Y'all have to have pictures. You gotta have pictures. Okay, here we go. All right, sis, I just invited you. You got to accept it on your side and you should be good to go. There's an accept button on your side. You may have to give your cell phone permission to utilize your microphone on your cell phone, but you should be good to go. You able to come up right now. I would like to see sisters and brothers up on the panel too. I try to go, sister, brother. That's the order I want to go. Hopefully we can do that. I hope we can do that. Oh man, I'm out of coffee. Y'all lucky I'm out of coffee. All right, come on, sis. You got to accept it on your side. Najia, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. And Mac, thank you for becoming a member as well. Bonnie's World been a member for 3 months in a row. I appreciate that, sis. Hold up. Hold on. I gotta switch to another person. D1, you gotta put up a picture. You gotta put up a picture. I gotta see what you look like. All right, sis, I invited you. Okay, there you go.
How you doing, Dane?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you? You can hear me good, right?
I can hear you good. I want to say thank you for letting me be up on this panel. Last time I spoke to you, I was kind of distracted. I had people at my door. But I want to say thank you very much for all the work you have been doing. You have been throwing it down. You got me excited. You got me pumped. You got my whole family just tripping. Like I was introduced through you by my daughter. And I was just going through some hell. And I didn't mean to cuss, but
you good. We grown.
And I want to tell you, recovering from cancer, you was my goal to get better. You helped me get out of that hospital. You helped me get on my feet just by listening to you while I was up in the hospital. I saved your videos just to get me through chemotherapy. Ooh. You are my star, okay? I'm cancer-free as of August of this year, and I'm here to help you, Dane. I'm going to let you know I'm here to help all my needy sisters and brothers. If y'all need any genealogy help, I got y'all. I just want to know. I'm just letting you know I'm ride or die for you and your wife.
Oh
just
my!
Y'all know.
Yo, that is. Hold on. On my side in the live stream, I'm dropping a lot of bombs.
Set it on fire.
That is major. I wish I could hug you right now.
Thank you, sweetie, because I just I'm tearing up because y'all really got me through it. It was you in God's hands that helped me get where I'm at today, helping my brothers and sisters. And I missed part of your session tonight because I was helping a sister find her records where, she was so nice. I don't want to say her business, but her family was so nice to work with. But I'm just letting y'all know that you the bomb, Dane, you and your wife. But that homegirl, Miss, I call her the Know Nothing. She part of the Know Nothing group, Dane. To get back on subject. She don't want none of us having, she don't want to have our backs because she'll lose some money. If she says anything about Civil War, about the black people, anything, she'll lose money. She's part of that Know Nothing crowd. She can't say nothing.
And she's a Niji? Or she's
No, she's not I don't think she's no Niji. I heard that that's what she says she is, part Niji or whatever.
Okay.
But she's part of the know nothing crowd. She ain't not gonna know nothing about black people at all, ever. No, she ain't gonna say nothing about slavery ever. She's gonna dip and dodge that all the time. All the time. Her and Biden. I don't know if you saw that interview. He was leaving an interview, Biden was. And they asked about reparations. And he made a comment about, well, if I give black people reparations, I got to give Indians. Now,
Native Americans. You said Native Americans.
Okay, or Native Americans, yeah. So I'm like, why didn't nobody question that? Like,
I did a whole live stream on that.
Shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. I got
you good.
Mouth, y'all. I'm sorry.
You good. We grown here. You good. Like, and I did a whole live stream on that. Actually, I did a video and a live stream on that.
You sure did, and I'm like, nobody freaking said nothing in there. Like, why would the Native Americans need reparations? Like, that right there tells you we was already here. But nobody said nothing who was of a lighter hue. I hate saying black and white, but the lighter hue people said nothing.
Yeah, and
that's what made me mad. I'm sorry to interrupt.
You good. I think a lot of people are not going to say anything because they're receiving benefits behind that. Okay. Whether if you want to look at it from a land point of view, or it could be some type of, revenue coming in and revenue stream. And of course, they're not going to say nothing. They don't want to step on nobody's toes, or if it's their own, they're not trying to say nothing. That's what we're faced with.
And as soon as they open their mouth to say something, then it's going to be questioned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The news is going to blow them under the dirt. They're going to start saying, well, why did you say this? And everybody's going to be following him around asking stupid questions. Nobody's going to get to the fact of paying back what's due. I call it cleaning house. At least that's what my mama used to say, and she's chicken soft. She used to say when stuff needed to be brought into open, you need a clean house at that point.
Yeah.
Get rid of the bad and bring in the good, and they're not going to do that.
That's why I say we should start our own because of that. We can't wipe it clean.
Agree.
I think if we do our own from the get-go, like I'm talking about from government on down, I mean, structure it, be organized with it on down, build up our own communities, we'll be able to do it. They'll respect us.
Absolutely.
Everybody else got nations but us.
Correct. And I was feeling you on that. You said that the other night, and I'm like, I'm down. That's what I was saying, telling you and your wife, I'm ride or die. Right now, I got laid off on December 15th, 7 years of servitude for Comcast. Never mind, I ain't gonna cuss them out.
Oh man, I used to work for them too.
Yeah. Comcast laid me off after 7 years of servitude. Good work too. Talking about I can find a job. Can't make that much money I was making because I was in a specialized. I'm a network engineer. If it's broke, I can fix it.
Yeah,
right?
you a tech. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they gonna lay me off after 7 years, and I'm recovering from cancer. They laying me off. I said that's okay because God's pointing me into another direction where I need to go. So that's why I'm here now. So I'm like, I ain't even tripping. All the skills I know, I put them all together, got me a website, got me a genealogy set up. I was like, I'm going to do this.
You can do it.
Be right there with Dane, too. I'm like, I'm right here with you, Dane.
Levante, get her information, Levante. She coming with us. If you can, I think Levante's in the main chat. He's going to DM you in here. I don't know if you know how to utilize the DMs. Do you?
Yes, I do. I'm learning it.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
We're gonna grab that because that with the genealogy company that's coming, you probably gonna want to be on board. And
yeah, I do. I do want to volunteer for that. That's a definite.
You don't have to volunteer, but those of you that want to volunteer, you can. But I got a feeling we probably gonna end up. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna just keep it that way. Okay, it's gonna be nice. Cause I forgot that I'm on YouTube at the same time. But
I know.
It that threw me off. I had to remind myself, look, you on YouTube too. Because usually I'm free for all. I'm free to say anything I want in here. But I forgot I'm doing both at the same time.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, man. You out in Georgia? I hear Georgia accent.
Look, half my bloodline is from Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. I'm gonna let you know that I got to do some traveling next year because this year God told me to focus on me, but I'm gonna be out there putting some foot down because they took my records and hit them because I got a feeling my mama's bloodline might be kings and queens because mysteriously I can't find nothing. Nothing online. But that's okay because my mama told me everything. She told me everything and where to look.
But at the same time, if you do end up traveling, then you can start grabbing them county records. You know, I mean, because not everything is online, and that's why I want to establish what I said I was going to establish for the people, because not everything is online. It is going to have to consist of some moving in order to get some of those records. They, you know, of course, they're trying to hide the truth. Which is all the more reason why we should be doing this. We should be.
Correct. And I was also wanted to do a shout out on all the people I actually did some sessions on. They gave some suggestions about maybe we can get somebody, a few people in each state who can do some footwork for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of us traveling so much. And I'm going to actually put that on my website, calling it collaboration. So we can actually get people out here who's willing to help us find these records and as a group, not as just one individual. So I'm gonna actually try to put that together tonight and get it on my website tonight.
Okay.
And my website's going live first of the year, y'all, just so y'all know, and I'll put it in the server.
Congratulations, sister. And definitely put it in the server. Definitely put it in the server. But look out for the DM from Levante so we could get with you on that. We'll probably assist you on your side and you probably still be with us at the same time. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't got no problem with collaborating.
I can do that. I want to collaborate with your girl, boy. She's doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm telling you, we all going down the same road and God sent you to me, Dane. I just wanted you to just put some love out there for y'all, and I got much love for y'all.
I appreciate that, sister, and congratulations. And I'm so glad that you're cancer-free. That is the Great Spirit knocking that out for you, and I'm so happy. Matter of fact, let me drop a bomb again. That is major.
It is. And I know God got a purpose for me. That's why I'm glad I can put that out there tonight.
That's right. That's right, sister. I appreciate the fact that I was able to talk to you, and we'll be hearing from you soon, or you'll be hearing from us soon, actually. Be looking out for the DM, okay?
I sure will, Dane. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. Y'all be cool.
All right now.
All right.
Bye. All right, yeah. Okay, now that's major. I mean, let me drop a bunch of bombs. That's major. She had me choked up over here. Man. Hearing something like that. See, that's it. That I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That's inspiring to me. To hear a sister like that, that beat cancer, saying that my videos helped her get through that. That's major, y'all. That's like. And see, I'm a human. I don't want y'all to be thinking I'm this and I'm that. Like, cause you know how money changed people. I'm not, nah. I'm just like you. I'm just like you. So when I hear something like that, it's the same way. You'll take it too. That is major, man. I can't thank the ancestors and the Great Spirit enough for allowing me to be in this type of position. That's major, man. I'm gonna try to get hold on, let me see if I could get a brother up in here. Now, again, one of the rules, now I see, okay, hear me out, y'all. Y'all gotta add an image, y'all's image to y'all's avatar. Switch your avatar up to you really quick. That way I could tell if it's a male or female. One, I can also tell if you're a real person. Okay? Please be real with that. Because I don't need no, I don't need no troll Jones coming up in here trying to be funny. That's not That's not what I want. I believe this is a brother right here. Let me double check. Yeah, there's a brother right here. Hold up. I'm about to get you up in here right now, brother. I'm clicking it now. You're going to have to accept it. No, I know you not. No. Don't take that wrong. I know you not no troll. I know you not. But as soon as you put up a picture, that's all the more reason why your safety of mind is, we good to go. And plus, don't forget I'm live on YouTube. Here we go. You got to accept it on your side, brother. There you go.
Thank you.
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What's going on, brother? How you?
I'm doing great. It is an honor to talk to you.
I appreciate that.
Years. And extremely helpful for helping me find stuff in my family. And why I'm on here is I also wanted to talk to you about your movie endeavors, because you were looking for people who are in the film and stuff like that.
I was at one point, but go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. Independent film, done some stuff behind the scenes, in front of the camera, and all that other stuff like that. And story-wise, if you ever need somebody to work with stories, filming, you name it.
You mean storyboard? You could draw storyboards? Okay.
More specifically, writing.
Okay.
Storyboards aren't like artistically, not an artist like that, but specifically writing and filming.
Okay. Where
and
in the
also,
filming? Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
The filming side of it, where would you be involved at? Like, meaning, what do you have experience in?
Almost everything but editing.
Okay.
So
you're familiar with different lenses and how certain cameras work?
Yep.
Are you familiar with Black Magic?
Yep.
The red?
Yep.
Red cameras?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is it something I could look at that you may have up under your belt? You can show me a few things?
Unfortunately, I do not. The work that I do have is outdated, and it was not used on Red or Magic.
Okay, what was it? Was it Canon?
Sony? It was a variation of Canon. And then we moved on to just a combination of Canon and then just components. So different lenses. Yeah, basically. And then with the just some of the work that I've done before, we usually stayed under the 4K spectrum just because of what it cost, how much it was for editing and everything else like that. But I'm familiar with the systems and everything.
I wish I could see it, because my camera equipment is expensive, as you know.
Oh, totally.
I mean, I wouldn't mind you being there, and taking a look at it, and maybe you could say a few things, because you got to show me, you know what I mean, that you can see it. I mean, of course, I'll be behind the scenes, behind the camera, and of course, I'll have 2 other directors with me, but they're going to be very strict dealing with that equipment.
Totally.
Okay.
I totally get that. And and then I had one more thing to say also about business endeavors too. You were saying about getting people to start, coming together and start purchasing from each other as well.
Yeah, that's inside of here. Don't say too much because it's on YouTube, but that is inside of here. We've been having those conversations inside of this community server.
Yes.
But I don't want the plans to go out on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
But yes, that's true.
Yeah, I've been everything you've been saying for the last couple of years is just, I just want to be a part of it.
We're here now. This is a very good start. I mean, with you being here, whatever it is that you can bring to the table, don't forget that we have different sections where you can present that. Whether if it be the main chat or the business ventures that you may have already established, just go further down to the business side of it. You can post it. I allow people to do that so I can see what's going on, what you can bring to the table, and what you need help with. The sections for that as well. Aside of it, like, for example, your genealogy. I'm not sure, it's up to you if you want to get involved in that conversation or not, but you can get involved in that type of conversation here inside of the community server. Once the companies roll out, then we could do further assistance. But there are people here already that could assist you right now.
Perfect.
Was it anything that you wanted to say about that particular topic that I covered earlier? I don't know if you got a chance to see the live stream, but it was about Nikki Haley. Okay.
I did. I got bits and pieces in the first. I got the introduction and what she was saying and what was not being said. And my thoughts behind it is like, what do we do when we hear the same thing over and over again with people always splitting the fence or being in the middle between things and keeping us out? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. It's like
we start fresh.
And it's also, and I feel that way. It's one of the reasons why I live where I live, because I had to move out of the States. I'm not far. I'm just on the other side of the border. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But just to get a reflection and to see what's going on from the outside, so I'm not caught into what's going on, so I can be swayed either or direction. So
central or south?
I'm north.
North?
Yeah. Canada,
okay.
North.
Canada. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We got brothers and sisters in Canada.
Yeah. I'm originally from, the States. I'm originally from Los Angeles, so.
But you've been up there for a while now. How you like it?
Ah, man, it is definitely different.
What are some things that you see there that you would love for our people to implement here?
Ooh. It's more specifically, I would love for more of y'all to come this way to help out us as his who definitely don't have a direction. I find myself basically what information before I started watching your video, just based on my own heritage and understanding. Just talking to us about the heritage of who we are. And there's a lot of lost people up here because there's not a lot of us here. And the younger generation, when they identify with what they see on TV, they really do.
You're not on the British side of Canada, are you? You're closer to us.
No, I'm on the British side of Canada.
You are? Okay.
I'm on the West Coast.
Okay. That's major.
And so there's we have this place called Hogan's Alley, and it was the Black community located in Vancouver. And they got redlined, but they don't explain it like that.
Okay.
They try hard to hide that because they know what they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know what they did. They have it in the records because they got the Chinese people to kick us out.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
And turned it into a Chinatown. So over here, the politicians are basically following the same script as what they see what the Americans are doing.
Yeah. As far as the government is concerned, that's what we're doing. I see what you're saying. Though. Go ahead. You good.
Sorry.
You good.
Even to the point where they're trying to introduce, Black identities here. Like hard.
Okay.
They just passed what do you call it? A service for disadvantaged Blacks and LGBTQ communities to have some type of voice for worker or work unemployment or something like that. And most of us are just like, who asked you for that? And this is Ontario. So same thing. They're like doing the same thing. So it's just like, all right.
Sounds like it's being replicated.
It is. We even get the same Chevy Ford truck commercials.
Yeah, I'm from some of my folks in Canada are telling me certain things, but not British Canada. I'm actually glad that you're actually my first point of contact there. But it's not surprising me that you're telling me that. It's really not. But at the same time, what I'm fighting against technically is my own people here.
No, I get that.
And for us to reach to Canada, I got to get them squared away here. Then we can start reaching to Canada, Hawaii, Central, South America, because at that point we're moving as one unit. That's what I want to do to get all of Turtle Island, because that's technically what that is. You are a part of Turtle Island. But I know that's going to take a bigger effort. And it has to be more than just me in order to get that done. But things have to be set in place. I would love for you to be my point of contact there. Keep me, aware of what's going on, what could take place. Some things that maybe I could come there and have some conversations with like-minded people, and maybe we could do something. You know what I mean? I don't know how you're connected, right there. I don't know if you want to go that route or not, but I would love to do that. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, of course I travel, but that would be nice because I haven't been there on that side of Canada.
You'll like it. It's if you've been to Seattle, Washington. Have you been to Seattle, Washington?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're basically getting that.
Okay.
But with less buildings.
So you're saying it's an extended version? All right.
Basically. I mean, we have running jokes because everybody who was born here thinks that they're like other cities with none of the appeal.
Okay.
But forest-wise, the trees, mountains, rivers, waterfrontscapes, historical antiquity, you name it, it's here.
Okay. Are you like ranging 30s or 40s right now in age?
Early 40s.
Early 40s, okay.
Like early 40s.
So are you familiar with certain people that could be in place to try to do some maybe activism work or something of that nature?
I am.
Okay.
We
at that location though.
At my location, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a base of people who understand where I'm coming from the subject matter that you're talking about, more specifically about who we are.
Yeah.
Not based on just the countries themselves. So most people who've encountered me know where I stand.
Okay.
There's not much you can tell me outside of where I come from if I give you the truths.
Right.
You either take the truths, go learn something, change your ways, or you don't.
So again, you will be my point of contact. So what you already know where I'm coming from, I would love for them to be already, acquainted with that before I have to reintroduce it to them and then explain it in detail. But I mean, of course, I wouldn't mind doing that to other people, but I would need just me and you and others for me to pop up and be like, all right, look, this is what we're going to do there. I wouldn't mind doing that. But again, as far as on a grand scale of things, I got to focus here in order for us to have more. You see what I'm saying? But I wouldn't mind that. I don't mind that, and definitely keep in contact with me in here. You know how to utilize the DMs.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just let me know.
There's a lot of us who also who know that they have ancestry back in America specifically.
Yeah.
So like I said, I have some friends that are, dads are from, Tennessee, Memphis, everywhere else like that. So I've been giving them information to help them because a lot of it has to do with identity crisis of a major.
A lot of Algonquin speaking people did go to Canada. I mean, that's in their history.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Jimi Hendrix's family is a part of that, and I know family members of his family personally.
I mean, I already know. I know for a fact that you guys are family. I know it's that it's spread it about. I know certain, some of it, we have Caribbean people there as well. But spread it about no type of control because of who's in control of the government, who's actually running it. It's the same issues. It's the same issues that we're having. And I understand. I fully understand. But it can't just be me. I would have to have more people with me in order to make moves in that direction. You know what we're up against.
I'm definitely 100% with that.
Keep in contact with me, brother.
I will.
I appreciate that. If you know how to utilize the DMs, please DM me right now so we can jump to the top. And
definitely. I will.
As soon as we get off of here, and then we'll keep in contact and we could work on that point of contact part. Again, I don't have no trouble with coming out there and starting something, but I can't be the only one making noise. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, I'm very much making noise. There's a local community center that is run by First Nations, which is the replacement name for Native Americans in Canada.
Yeah.
And when they run their mouth about this is our land, I give them the facts. They have not said a word to me since then. It's
some
all
of the
smiles.
first, believe it or not, some of the First Nations people are cool with me. They reached
totally.
out. Yeah, they don't.
Totally.
They know what's going on, and a lot of them are mixed breed, but at least they know, and they're willing to do something. So I'm familiar with some of them, but it's not like that over here. It's a lot of so-called Native Americans that are really against us speaking out about our true identities over here. We're up against a whole different type of devil on this side. And of course they got, the government involved. But yeah, I mean, eventually we'll get it done like I said, on a global scale, on a grand scale of things. It's going to happen one way or another. We're going to get our lands back, up and down. We're going to get our lands back.
100.
Keep in contact with me, brother.
I will. I'll message you right away.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Wado.
Wado.
All right, hold up. Let me get a sister up in here now. Oh, here goes Sister Cherise. Oh, Lord. Here goes Sister Cherise. What's up, sis?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. You kind of... Okay, there you go. Yeah, there you go. It came, man.
Okay.
It's breaking up a little bit, though.
How about now?
I can hear you clear. You good.
Great. Okay, so I know you guys were talking about Nikki Haley.
Yep. Nikki Haley, yep.
I just think that people don't really understand, like, the whole... I didn't really catch all of your live, but when I saw this, I kind of got it, the gist of what was, what's going on or whatever. And what I feel is that I think people don't realize that is that white people was enslaved as well.
Right.
And my thing is that the Civil War it's just like they just say, oh, it's just because of slavery and that's that. And I'm like, yeah, but I think it was a little bit deeper, like, because the white people were working just as much as the black people were working. And honestly, the white people couldn't really compete with the black work. So that's what I think was going on. And they ended up fighting because of that. Like the states against the states. Like, I don't think that they were fighting for our freedom, if that makes any sense. I think it was more so them fighting for their own freedom.
And it wasn't even about freedom. Technically, because when you can't...
What was it? It was just the threat of slavery to the white working class. So,
because think about it, free from what? What are you being freed from? Because if we're still working right now, then how were we freed in 1863, 1865 when we still doing the same thing right now? Like, we working for somebody else right now.
Exactly. It never really stopped.
It didn't.
To be honest. And I think that when they just say, oh, it's because of slavery, I think it's like relegated to black people and what we went through and stuff like that. But I just think that everybody was out here working and for little to nothing, and nobody was really getting what they deserved. And people own people, not just white people. Black people own people. Black people own white people. Black people, whoever. So
I agree.
I do think that it's a very, very interesting take.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She just didn't mention it. Nikki Haley just didn't mention slavery at all when they brought up the question of what caused the Civil War. See, certain people out there want to, control the narrative of what actually caused the Civil War. They don't want to let them know that it was actually a labor dispute between a union versus the Confederate States, in which the Confederate States had the majority of the jobs anyway, because they had the majority of the territory, majority of the land and crops. That's it. Equal pay. Anytime a union step in, it's about equality. They're not trying to look at it that way. But yeah, that's why she didn't mention slavery at all.
I mean, yeah, she probably ain't one of the factors. I don't really know this. I do think that the way that she did answer the question was partially correct.
She answered the question correctly. She told the truth. I mean, we talking about business, commerce, and trade. It's the same economics. It's the same thing. It has not changed. And that's why I wanted people to see. Look at how she explained that and how it still relates to today. Nothing changed. It's the same thing. And she didn't even mention a group of people. She didn't have to.
Yeah, because it was everybody. Like they keep
It's
making it seem
everybody.
like I think it was every fucking body. So that's what people need to understand, like, especially a lot of the white folks that came over, because a lot of them was criminals. And they were getting sentenced to come over this motherfucker.
That's
so
correct.
It's not like they were on their free will too. A lot of them was being sentenced to indentured servitude for life. Some of them had like 7-8 years. Some of them didn't. That's how I said. That's how a lot of that mixing and that that shit was going on, because all of them was living together. A lot of them was living on the same plantations with each other, and people just don't get that shit.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah, they think that we just was out here getting our ass kicked. No, that's not what was going on.
Yeah, that's another thing. Why, like, what makes y'all? Because we wouldn't let that happen right now. Ain't nobody touching us right now. All of us got equipment. Let me just keep it that way. All of us got weapons. Ain't nobody just gonna walk up on us and touch us and you gonna get away with it? That wouldn't happen right now. It ain't gonna happen back then. And of course, our people had access to weapons. A lot of our people were blacksmiths anyway. Where they think they got the weapons from?
They had money, everything.
That's right.
I can believe they had access to that shit. And like I was telling somebody, because I was like, man, it's just interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that people can't see that possibility that, like when you say, oh shit, I got some European in my family. Yeah, you probably do, because there was some bullshit going on that shouldn't have been going on, but it was going on. And a lot of times when white people got with black people or mulatto people, a lot of them ended up getting enslaved for being with a mulatto person, especially if one of them had a grandfather that was black, but their mother was white or some shit. Like, it gets so complicated with the law and how everything was going back then. I don't think it was about complexion. I think it was just about who was doing the work and who was getting it done.
Who had a particular status, who had the status of privilege and who didn't. It wasn't about your skin complexion. It never was. People make it that way nowadays. Again, that term racism is brand new. But yeah, you're right. The only way a person is going to figure that out is if they actually do research on their individual family to find out what actually happened by way of paperwork. That paperwork is going to tell it. And if you start reaching out to your elders, them stories going to match up. That oral history is going to match up. I encourage everybody to get that done. I highly recommend that. That will be the first thing, because you will want to know about your grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents. You got to know them.
And a lot of people too, Dane, let me say this, because I was looking it up too, that like even a lot of our ancestors who was like mulatto, a lot of them had like a 10% of black, some people would say, or like these documents is saying that, but even though they had like majority white, but they had that little bit of black, they still was black, and that some of them would go and marry black, and then they would have children and things like that. I just think that these things are very complicated.
They made it that way. They made it that way. I mean, keep in mind, the one drop rule wasn't based off of were they taking everybody's saliva then? Were they collecting everybody's data then? Let's be real. That's based off of judgment.
Yes, premium. I think it's premium facius. Or something like that, the term they used in the article. About censorship. You can go to court, and the judge and the jury can tell you if you're a white person or not.
There you go. That, and we know that to be true because that same thing took place with the enumerators. The enumerators were able to make their own opinion up and determine what a person was.
Yep.
Same thing.
Yeah. And I also wanted to tell you too, like that slave trade stuff, Dane, man, you hit that out the box. All that stuff is correct. I went and found a researcher. I know he'd be a little bit back and forth, but his name is David Eltis. And I went and looked at some of his work about some of the numbers of the slave trade. And he wrote a particular article called The U.S. Transatlantic Slave Trade, 1644 to 1867, and an assessment. I just want to read a quick little part.
Go ahead.
I don't want to read too much of it, but this right here made me knew that you was telling her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see it with your own eyes, it hit different.
Yeah.
Okay. So like basically what I'm about to read is them talking about why they decided to go with a smaller number in terms of how many people actually disembarked from Africa directly to America, which they claimed was 6,100 people. So it says the second reason for preferring the lower figure is that the ninth census of the United States, the first to be taken after slavery, was ended in the nation, shows that less than 1/10 of 1% of the Black population of the United States was African born. And I said, boom, fucking boom.
Hold up. Read that one more time for the people way in the back. Read that one more time.
It says, the second reason for preferring the lower figure is that the ninth census of the United States, the first to be taken after slavery, was ended in the nation, shows that less than 1/10 of 1% of the Black population of the United States was African born. Thus, if 786,500 slaves arrived after 1808, then almost all of them must have been born in the Americas.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Let me drop a bomb real quick.
Mm-hmm. Stop playing with us. And that's when they started to bring up the intro and Michigan slave trade. And that's when, it validated what you said about people that were getting shipped out, which was 100% correct. And like, I know he had got some pushback from Louis Gates and all of that. F that man. He was telling, his white man was telling the truth about those numbers and that they were manipulating them. And that's what he was pretty much putting in that document. So yeah, Dane, you've been on track. There's some haters. They don't want to go really look into the research and find out that this is a manipulation. This is a scam. Like, all it is. And like, I'm so grateful for you because, like you said, don't take your word for it. You said to look into it yourself. And I said, you know what? I know Dane telling the truth, but I'm gonna look into this shit myself.
I encourage people to do it all the time. I encourage people to do that all the time. Do their own research. Regardless if I make it sound good, I make it look good, it don't matter. Go check for yourself and verify. I'm not playing.
That's all questioning this for a minute now.
Yeah.
You is not the first person. They've been questioning this. They've been questioning the legitimacy of it all, how they did it. They even talked about like the different weathers, time zones.
Exactly.
All this stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that could really hinder that kind of process, especially over there in Africa. They said that it's more feasible to believe that people who left America and went to places like Brazil and Cuba, that's more
It's
realistic.
closer. It's closer.
Yes.
If they go to Brazil, see, that's another thing. It's about the routes they took. That's another thing that people are not taking into account. Not one time did they provide us the route that these so-called slave ships took in order to go from some west coast of Africa to the Americas. Which route did they take? Because you can't come across the Atlantic due to the ocean gyres, and you cannot run up on any particular beach or ocean or whatever you want to call it, or any type of landmark on the coast of any type of land without running into a coral reef system that could damage your boat before you even touch the land. So that's a shipwreck right there, like as soon as that happens. So which route did you take? Now, the routes that we're familiar with are still ongoing right now. And these cargo ships, that's what they're referring to when they say slave ships. They need to stop saying slave ships because it was never strictly about slaves in general being transported. They were cargo ships. Look at how the cargo ships are being moved now. Look at their routes right now. And keep in mind, it takes them 90 days to get to Africa from the Americas, and then 90 days back. And that's with GPS. Now we talking about the time period without GPS. It's going to be longer than 90 days. It's going to be, it's just, say it again. You were breaking down.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I said they damn sure didn't really have like the ships didn't have that type of manpower. From what this article said, it was small slave vessels. That's what this article was saying, like little vessels.
Yeah, they're vessels. They're wherries. They're skiffs. They're sailboats. They didn't have cargo ships. They didn't have cargo ships until the late 1850s on a commercial scale. Until the late 1850s. Keep in mind, they said slavery was abolished in 1865, and they didn't have cargo ships until the late 1850s. Ain't no way in the world you transporting millions of people within a 10, 15 year span. Ain't no way. And you still ain't got no GPS. You lying. They've been in 90 days. You mean to tell me you about to pack all them slaves up under that boat for 90 days? Where is your room for the food that's gonna last you for 90 days?
Right, long enough to go to another land and work.
And then look, and what port did you land at? Where you disembarked and then embarked? What was the port? What was the name of the port? And did they have enough cargo for you to refill to take that 90-day plus trip back?
And it's true. It's true.
It get deep.
It do. And I was like, dang, I said, man, bro.
They force people to utilize their imagination. That's what they did.
Yep.
And people filled in the blanks that way.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're using our imagination, but we're not really thinking like how, about how this could truly be possible.
Right.
So even if they claim they was doing that a year, I said, ain't no way they was doing that. I said, it gotta be somebody out here debunking that shit.
Yep.
Because there is no way. I mean, like scholars, because people always, where the scholars at? Where the scholars? Where's the source? Blah, blah, blah. Now I got one. So everyone can go and read it.
Yeah,
and
man.
Get into it. Because I want to talk about this before as well.
Man, I got so much research on that. Matter of fact, there's a book out. You know, my wife and I put a book out on the 1619 so-called transatlantic slave trade story called It Was Told in Reverse. The reason why I was told in reverse is because the majority of the people that went to West Africa came from here in order to populate West Africa. I showed them why I was told in reverse. This is also called the American Colonization Society. They considered it a Negro problem, Indian problem, technically. Later on, it was switched over to Negro problem. But they were saying there was too many of us here that were not agreeing with their religious practice or their way of life in order for us to be schooled religiously by their indoctrinating process called Christianity. You name it, Catholic Christianity, all the way down. They know what they were doing. These people were coming over here as missionaries in order to teach the gospel to our people, to subside the revolts and rebellions that our people were enduring upon their people. We don't like looking at strangers and they ain't speaking the same tune as we on. So of course we gonna rebel and revolt and we gonna war with you. Of course we are. And of course we're spiritual people. We're not inclined or in tune with your devilish way of living. We're inclined and in tune to our way of life, which will be our own spirituality, ones with nature, ones with self. That's also called universal. Universal laws, because a lot of people follow that same script. I would call it a script because it was written and it was practiced and it was taught orally at the same time. A lot of things were written down, some of it weren't. But we know one thing. We know why people weren't coming up with that religion type stuff over here. A lot of that stuff is foreign. I'm talking about all from Muslim, Christianity, blah, 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 blah. All of that stuff is foreign. Ain't from here at all. Again, if they got to send missionaries over here, they call it the Congregation for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts. If you got to come over here with your missionaries, again, called the Congregation for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts, that means you had a duty to teach people something that is foreign to them in order to subside, again, the revolts and rebellions. We grew our hair long. Whose culture did we adapt when we cut our hair? The anytime you seen our ancestors cut our hair is when we at war. That's a mark of war. That Mohawk, for example, Mohawks are a mark of war. That means that we are at war. That means that side is shaved, we looking straight forward. We looking straight forward. That's why that Mohawk point straight forward. That's why we tell you to hold your feathers up, not down. Feathers down is representing what your ancestors stood for. And it wasn't because we was moving around light as a feather. It's because birds that flock together stay together. Y'all go ahead, birds of a feather flock together, stay together. They tried to flip it up. It's the same thing. They refer to us. It's America, home of the brave. Home of the brave, who you referring to? Was it the foreigners that was brave? Land of the free. Wait a minute, home of the brave. We were brave enough to kick your tail? Is that what you talk about us, right? Of course you are. Land of the free. That means we were already civilized. We were free away from citizenship, something that you came up with. It's a whole lot of interpretations that they utilize based off of what they saw that our ancestors had in order for them to capitalize so they could fit in. That's why it's a capitalist society. They capitalize off of something we already had. All we gotta do is switch this back around. It's not hard. It's really not. That's why I say a lot of things that we were told that actually happened in reverse. In a reverse matter. Like what she was just saying, slavery. They got us thinking that slavery had all to do with our people only. And that's what's being regurgitated inside of these schools. Critical race theory. And our people falling for it. And want reparations. I understand. We should get something. But just know for a fact that it gotta be more than just a check. Because they took more than just a check.
That's the thing about reparations too, Dane. Because I be telling people like, look, if slavery didn't happen the way that we think it happened or whatever, like they're gonna be going into who should get this type of restitution.
Yeah,
like,
restitution.
They will even question, you know what I'm saying, if Africans from Africa should get it, if the United States should be paying Africa for slavery.
I saw that.
It'll go into all the conversations, you know what I'm saying, about it. And I just think that if we just continue to fight for our liberation and what we want to do, like we can build ourselves economically and as capitalists again.
Yeah.
Like we once was before. You know, I just think a lot of us is just really scared to unify. A lot of us don't know what to do. A lot of people don't know where to look. You know, it's just people don't have the answers. It's a lot of shit. And I just don't think a check is the answer solely. They definitely twist it at all. But I think that we need to really walk this back and make sure that they actually take ownership of what was done, because they're not even owning what they did.
That's
And that's the problem.
I agree with that. A lot of, to touch on to what you said, a lot of people don't know what to do as far as they're looking for direction. And this is another reason why I'm stepping up to the plate on that note, because I mean, what's a movie without a director? What's a movie without direction? But also you got to keep in mind, what's a movie without a producer? You can't have a movie without directors and producers. So we got to be both. We got to step up to the plate and take that initiative to be the honorary people of whatever we want to portray out there for our people, for our benefit. We want that to be our reality. We can't just sit back and wait for, somebody to come save us to do it. We got to be the real life Supermans and save ourselves.
Where Jesus at? Because it's been a long time. I remember hearing that when I was like 6, 7. He gonna come back and he gonna save all of us from this. What? We better save ourselves.
Well, all we gotta do is save ourselves. We don't need none of that waiting on some unforeseen entity. We ain't even gotta do all that. We could do it ourselves. There's no excuse.
And that's holding us back to it. Talk about people that's religious or whatever, but a lot of people, that type of stuff instead of actually taking real action is part of the reason why we can't move forward either.
Right.
And we less reluctant to look into our genealogy. We less reluctant to talk to family members, and you don't get to know, that side of your family and who you are and who they were in America.
Right. So they keep in your mind. That's a distraction. Religion is being utilized as that's the number one distraction. Keep in mind, that's what they brought over here first.
Yep. And because everything is so hard for a lot of our people will sit around and pray until they can't fucking pray no more. And next thing you know, they old and whatever else.
And they in their grave.
That's the end. I start motherfucking crying. Because that shit ain't doing nothing for us.
We gotta flip it. We gotta step up to the plate. If we were made in his image, I remember somebody said, then call us by our names, but it's more than just call us by our names. If we were made in his image, then we got to do exactly what we were put here to do. I mean, if he could do it, then we could do it. If we were made in his image, then he saw that we could do the exact same thing that he did. I'm just saying that, just not the name, just not the title. Forget the name, forget the title. Do the work, do the footwork. Again, if we're a replica then we could be doing the same thing. This goes down the entire spectrum. I'm talking about from footwork to spiritual work. Okay? We could do it all.
What they say about faith? Faith without works is dead.
Faith without works is dead. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you brought that up. Glad you brought that up. Everybody having faith, but ain't doing no work. Oh, let me drop a bomb. You right. You right. That's true. And they, constantly picking up, going to church and paying their tithes. They thinking that's it. That's all they got to do. There's more than that. Huh?
Getting washed every Sunday, like that shit is not cute at all.
Man.
That's let me tell you, the church is where a lot of our people are. And a lot of our people are really caught up in that. And it's bad.
It's been bad. And they know it. They know a lot of our people have been indoctrinated so bad that they could, take advantage of our people. They know what they're doing. It's not like they don't. They know exactly what they're doing. It's just that our people didn't know that now, one thing I could agree with what that older lady said earlier was that if you don't have a seat at the table, then you're on the menu. I agree with that. If you don't have a seat at the table, then you're on the menu. But at the same time, who's to say we got to sit at that table? Why can't we have our own? We can have our own table reserved for us. Let them keep their own table. And wait, well, who's to say we got to sit in the same restaurant? Again, why do we have to be desegregated when we were fine segregated?
Exactly. I don't know what the ancestors was thinking when they made that decision.
Well, they were in college.
So much,
the desegregation part happened in college. They came after the children. They came after the reason why I call them children is because they were young adults. They came after the young adults and manipulated their mindsets politically into thinking that we need to be desegregated in order to see some change for the betterment of our people. That was incorrect. But they always put the agenda on the children. This is the reason why they made schools. It wasn't being educated in order to get the best education, to get the best degree, in order to get the best job. It was about being indoctrinated by a curriculum that they wanted you to know about in order for them to have control over you, to mold you as children. Children are the most vulnerable out of anything. And with the parents not knowing what's going on, of course they could teach the children anything because the parents busy, still working as a servant.
Yep.
Their mind is systematically done. They know exactly what they did. Yeah. A lot of people saying that we need our own schools. We need more than just that. We need more than just that. And I'm talking about everything, the whole thing, not just schools, not just museums, the whole thing. We need to have our own nations. Everybody else got their nation. Everybody else got their nation but us. We don't have one. And that's a problem. That's the biggest problem. But there, I mean, and I showed y'all how we could do this. I showed y'all how we could build our own countries, how we could build our own nations. There's no excuse, and there's no law stating that we can't do it. This is international law stating that we could do this. Freedom of assembly. I told y'all that. It's not just creating our own Congress. It's bigger than that. You have the freedom to assemble what you want. That's international law. You have the freedom to assemble your government, freedom to assemble your Congress, freedom to assemble your own rights and whatever, legislation, whatever, all the way down the list. You have that type of freedom right here in this country, though. Right here in this country. You ain't got to worry about no military and no police. This is over top of them. Because at that point, they don't have no legislation. I mean, no jurisdiction over you. You have jurisdiction over yourself. As long as you ain't their citizen. If you a citizen of your own government, what they gonna say? It's that simple. People think that's unrealistic, but there's other people out right now that's doing that. Look at Haiti. Look at Africa. Look at name it. They got their own way. They have their own government. We could do the exact same thing. I'm trying to tell you. And we could do it right here. And ain't nothing but foreigners controlling the government. No, we got to give them a limit. Like, hey, that's enough. We'll take things from here. Thank you. Well, we appreciate that. No. We ain't even got to worry about no borders. You know why? Because anybody that try to sneak up on these territories getting shot. That's all. That's all. And then fire every single body that work on the borders and get a whole new group of people down there. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody that's working on the borders right now, as far as Border Patrol, bought and paid for. Fire all of them.
Letting them just run through the
Just
job.
letting them come through. No, fire all of them. Matter of fact, fresh military. We start from the top. I don't want no foreigners in my military. None. I want my military looking like me. I'm talking about looking like me, and I know they from here, and they gonna get paid. Same thing with the police.
For us, by us.
Exactly. If that community is all needy, then I need needy police officers over there. If that whole community is needy, I need a needy mayor. I need a needy governor of that state. The state that we create. We create the state. We can't be in this state and let them control what we got going on and just feeding them the money. And they governing us. And that's it. We letting this stuff slide. Right? We letting it slide. When we got full control. Whole time we got full control. You know why? Because without us, it will be no them. Guaranteed. If we just straight up say no, F it, that's it. We gone, we up out of there. They are going to crumble. And they know it. This is the reason why they keep bringing in more foreigners on the daily. They afraid that you're going to pull a plug on them. They know what's about to happen. They know it's inevitable. They know their time is limited. It's guaranteed. It's beyond biblical. It's spiritual. This is going to happen. They are going to get, we're going to get our payback. We were not the cursed ones. They were. They were the ones that were cursed. They were the ones, like she said earlier, that were sentenced to transportation. They were the ones that was exiled from their main land. They were the ones that came over here as the slaves. They were the ones that had to work as tenants for our people. They were the ones that had to ask and beg and ask and beg and literally come up from the grassroots, to use that terminology, in order to make themselves citizens, have their own citizenship within their own government, giving themselves their own rights, making themselves superior, and then turn around and say that we are inferior ones. We the Indian givers. They wasn't trying to help us. Nigga, if it wasn't for us, it would be no you. So it's time for us to take our position again. I need you to understand it was bigger than just kings and queens. We were the rulers of this territory. We were the warriors of this territory. We are the original people of this landmass. All you got to do is not only just claim it, you got to know it. Because things got to get in position. I'm tired of waiting. Of course, I'm going to continue to put this information out the best way that I can, but I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of waiting. I'm not no beta male. I'm not about to just sit back and not, say anything about it. When I tell you something wrong, I'm going to point it out. When I hear something fraud, I'm going to call it out. If they not real, I'm not trying to deal with that. I'm from the streets of DC. I see warriors all the time. They don't hesitate to pull that thing back. But I need them same warriors on the side of me coming after the enemies for real. Not my own brothers and sisters, the enemies for real. Not no, wait a minute, Dane, but y'all, it's black on black crime. Yeah, it is, but it's also white on white crime. You just don't promote it. It's Chinese on Chinese crime. You just don't promote it. It happens all the time with anybody. I mean, tribes versus tribes. I mean, of course people gonna clash. That ain't nothing. But they're trying to make it seem like it's the majority, that's a big deal. That's always happening. If that's really always happening, then why you got the majority of our warriors locked up right now? The majority of these private prison jail cells got our warriors locked up right now.
I was telling somebody, I said, you think we only 13% of the fucking population? I said, do you know how many of our people is in jail that's not being accounted for? Like, what?
This is the reason why I use the number 13%. Because I'm using it against them, because I know, and we all know that we more than 13% of the population. You breaking up now. You breaking up real bad.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. This little earpods is so cheap. Throw them right in the trash. But anyway, I was saying, like, this is our land. We inhabited this whole place. Up and down. I don't give a damn. Canada, bitch. Every fucking where. We was all
The
over
whole
this
thing.
joint. The whole joint. And it's like, there is no way that y'all eradicated all of us.
They
And
can't.
I just find it interesting how they tell, like, the Native American story, and then they tell, like, the slave trade story. But it's like, bro, it's lying like shit. That's the same fucking story. Like, those people that they are talking about us and what happened to us.
Of course.
But they us so bad. Like, they all shit us out here because it's so hard to prove the fucking truth. I said, that are the indigenous Americans, the American Indians. That's who the fuck we are. That's who the fuck we've been. Like, and it's always been around us. And I just don't like what's happening to us. Like, we got to step up. And that's the only thing that I can really say about it, Dane. We got to step up, especially with this information. We got to put some pressure on some people, put some foot on some necks. Like, something got to happen.
All 2024, that's my agenda. Putting pressure on them.
Yep.
All 2024, that's my agenda. I'm putting pressure on them. Now see, hold on, sis. Let me see. I'm hyped now. I'm hyped.
For real.
But I mean, is there anything else you wanted to say, sister? Because I know I'm about to go off here in a second. I can feel it. The ancestors working in me. I know it's about to happen.
Now go on ahead. Peace and love to everybody. Again, thank you for bringing me up. I love coming up and just being able to share what I can share and just reach the people the best way that I can as well. I love all of y'all. Thank you so much, Dane. Absolutely, sister. Anytime. Man, listen. Okay. Now I know y'all like, hey, Dane, don't get the yelling. I'm gonna tell y'all like this now. I've been on YouTube since 2016. Video after video teaching y'all about our history. Ain't nobody else going through what I'm going through when it comes to YouTube. The only reason why this stream ain't messing up right now is because YouTube watching, probably still watching, enjoying themselves. And we know that for a fact, because earlier when I started this live stream, what was happening? I ain't even get started yet. I'm on a terabyte on the internet. My internet is fine. I'm not dropping no frames. That's YouTube doing that. Every time I'm putting information out, they try to send little small attacks. What does that mean? I'm attacking something that they already got out. And I'm winning. Suppressing the message, all this censorship. Yeah, it may happen to other people as well, but are they talking about the same thing? Are they really? Are they talking about liberating the people? Are they talking about the embetterment of our people? Or the betterment of our people? Are they talking about not just buying land, not just buying so-called black businesses or from black, no. Are they talking about building nations? Are they doing that? Are they backing up what they saying with the research that I put in, my wife and I? I'm talking about putting up the evidence on screen. Are they doing that? It's a lot of people that we see right now that they push out into the forefront in order to be right there, to be the gatekeepers, to try to prevent me from creeping in the cracks and people like me. That happens. If you don't believe that happened, it ain't for you to believe. I'm telling you, it's for you to know. It's for you to know. That's what's been happening. But they cannot stop me. You know why? Because I'm going to keep my foot on that gas pedal. 2024 is not too far away from now, you know. They're 2024. We ain't going to get into it. Y'all know. According to the Gregorian calendar, 2024 on the way. All 2024, I'm putting pressure on everybody. Everybody. I'm no longer going to be associating myself with nobody else.
but my people. That's it. That's it. Some of y'all may consider some of the things that's going to be happening next year arrogant. Some of y'all going to be like, oh, this boy crazy. Good. I take that as a compliment. Some of y'all going to be like, God damn, why he moving so militant? Good. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Dane, why you popping up on this platform? He worked for this. He a gatekeeper, because I'm coming in and crashing in that party. And I'm shutting it down. Dane, don't go up on that platform. That guy's an informant, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I understand all that. You think I don't see it? But they got a certain reach. And I need to be able to reach more of our people. So if you do see me pop up, don't think I'm with the agenda. Don't think I'm down with them. Don't think I done sold my soul. That won't ever happen. Ever. I will not sell my soul for money. I will not sell my soul for nothing. I will not sell my soul, period. That's the reason why I had to slow walk it. Some of y'all think I could have been in that position a couple years ago, and you're right. But keep in mind, the people that was coming after me in order to get me to sell myself out was offering me millions of dollars. I showed y'all a couple emails, pictures, all that. I showed y'all as it was happening. They want me to sell myself out. That used to average 7K, 8K likes on a post, 10K likes. Thank you, Dane. Thank you for being down with the people. If it was just about me, I would have been gone a long time ago. If it was just about me, I would have been gone. If I was only about myself and said, fuck it, you know what? These people don't care. They ain't gonna never change. You know what? Let me take your $1 million. What else you want me to do? I'm not that type of person. I'm not a puppet. I'm a leader. I'm a leader. I'm trying to inform the masses that our people have been lied to about their history. From top to bottom. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I called out those biggest people, and they got mad, tried to, do a little smear campaign against me. I called out the biggest people. They sent out, them little gatekeepers sent out the ones that they gonna call elite, gonna send out their little bulldogs. They sent out their bulldogs, right? Try to bite me. Nigga, I don't see no wounds. And if there is one, I don't feel it. I don't. Any weapon formed against me won't ever prosper. Any weapon formed against me won't ever prosper. I will not stop. You will not stop me. Again, 2024, I'm going to hit these radio shows. I'm going to do these interviews. I'm going to do what I got to do. You're going to see me on World Star and all that. I'm going to do it. But I'm telling you right now, this is right before 2024 hit. I ain't changing for nobody. The only thing that's going to be changing is our people for the better. I don't care how good that money look. Again, I got offered millions of dollars before, and I ain't changed. I even showed y'all that CNN offered me a job. Showed y'all that. Political commentator. News anchor. Good paying job here. My mother was like, Dane. Wait a minute, Dane. That even had my mother stuck for a second. Like, hold on, did you reply to them yet? That money, wait a minute. I almost caught my mother. I had to remind her, Ma, when I told you before I started creating my YouTube channel, what'd I say? I said, Ma, and I told you, my father, I told all of y'all, I said, young, it keep coming to me. I'm gonna be doing something like Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, like Martin Luther King. I'm gonna be, it's something like that. And I don't know what it is, Ma, but every time I go to sleep, I'm awake And I keep getting told that this is about to happen. This was years ago. This was years ago. My mother can verify this right now. My whole family can verify this. I told them all. I said, I'm changing for the better. I'm here for a different reason. I said, wait a minute, now I'm supposed to be there. I warned my wife. I said, baby, I don't want to scare you, but I'm about to be in the forefront. And it's not because I'm selling myself out. It's something my ancestors are telling me to do. And I'm going to be obedient. And it kept happening back to back to back to back. And I mean that. As soon as I said, okay, I'm ready, my whole life changed. Whole life. I ain't never seen that many people a day in my life. My first video, 7 million views. First one. Second video, 7 million. Facebook took me off. Who is this nigga? Nigga, no promo? They took my videos right off and started blocking me. And you know what I was doing? I was sitting down at the kitchen table talking to y'all like how I'm talking to y'all right now. They immediately started shutting me up. Like, oh, nah. Hold up, what? But guess what? They couldn't shut me up. You could try to censor it, but you can't. I'm talking about everybody was sharing my video. Caucasians, Niji, everybody. I still got the screenshots. And that happened overnight. That 7 million views happened in 24 hours. I could not believe that. And my ancestors said, that's it. This is what you need to do right here. Keep going. It's been times where I wanted to quit. It's been times where I thought people wasn't listening. People wasn't catching it. It's been those, I've been there. And my ancestors said, keep going. It's been times where I was disrespectful to my ancestors and said I'm by myself. Oh, they corrected me that same night. Nigga, no, you not. You don't see who we are? You are protected. The Great Spirit watching over all of us. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You good to go. You good to go. Now, if you want to show your ass and you do it the correct way and it's gonna wake some people up, we right there with you. Let's go. Because see, what we going through is spiritual warfare. And if I got to tap into your spirit that way, so be it. Whatever I got to do to spark that light, to spark that fire inside of you, I'm going to do it. A lot of people thought I was preaching. Most of y'all think I'm teaching. The way I look at it is that I let the spirit go through me and tell you what you need to hear. I let the spirit go through me and help me with researching, help me with editing, what topics I'm working on. Even during these live streams, ain't nothing written down. Those little documentaries when I'm in my doc voice, my narrator voice, that's written down, but they directed me to where I go to get this research. It'd be surprising people. How the hell they ain't get that? Dane, I can't find that on the internet. That's not for you to know. That's for me to know and for you to find out. That's why I tell you, I'm just here to make you think. Once you get to thinking, that could progress into us doing something for ourselves. You get that information first. You could be like, God damn, he cracked that egg wide open. Now I see the yolk. Now what are you going to do? You going to scramble it or you going to do it over easy? Flip it over easy. Shoot, you might even take that yolk, put it in a glass and drink it. How you going to do it? How are you going to process the information that I give you? That's on you. I did my part. I provided the information. That's going to make you think. What are you going to do about it? And I don't care. Again, I do not care if you believe me or not. It's not about what you may believe. It's about what you know, based upon what you can actually prove. Prove that you know what I'm talking about to yourself. Prove it. Just don't go off of my word or anybody else's. Prove it to yourself. I got to break that spell of indoctrination off of you. That's my job. That's what I was put here to do. And that indoctrination spell is deep. Deep. It's beyond what you may believe. Again, because it's not about what you believe. These people are working against us. And who are these people? Our enemies. And it doesn't matter their skin complexion. They don't want us to be up there because it makes us superior and they at the bottom. Again, you're giving the European too much credit for something that they did not do on their own. You're giving them too much credit. That's your first mistake. Your second mistake, putting your faith in something unforeseen. Not giving yourself the credit. This past Christmas, did you still keep telling your children that Santa brought them presents? When you was out there working at 9 to 5 or probably had to do overtime to make sure you keeping up with them bills and give them presents? Did our ancestors come up with Christmas? Did our ancestors come up with Halloween? Did our ancestors come up with religion? Or anything else in between? They've been giving us everything that they could capitalize off of. Black Friday. They acting like prices are slashing by 50%. People waking up to see, wait a minute, they just making it look like it's been slashed. It's the same price. And always has been. Same price as it was last week. You think they're going to take a loss because of you? Large corporations running it. Again, but you want to have a seat at that table. When that table not even reserved for us. But we can make our own tables. And make it reserved for us at any time. I've been trying to tell you exactly what we need to do. If you 40, 50, 60, 70, and you disagree, go ahead and leave. Please. We don't need you. You in the way. If you agree and you about change, and you're not going to get in your feelings because I'm actually talking about religion and showed you the history of how religion was given to us to separate our people, keep our people blind. If you get in your feelings about that, I don't need you here. We don't need you here. You're still in the stages where you indoctrinated. You'll come around later, hopefully. Not everybody going to come around though. That's another reason why I said 13%, y'all. Only 13%. Yes, I'm using that number against them, but I'm also saying, wait a minute. We only need 13% of our own population to get this done. We don't even need the whole 100. 13% of our population is enough to get things done, and everybody else will follow suit. A lot of people were forewarning me about certain things that's happening on TikTok and Instagram where a lot of people are utilizing my information, right? That I put out there. They can't even explain it the best way that I did and presented the information. I hear that people are putting that stuff out there and making pretend like they did that research when my wife and I did it, and they're not giving us credit. I'm coming after your head. Fair warning. That's a fair warning. My wife and I stood up long hours to do this research. The least you could do is give us the credit for doing that part. Don't try to make pretend like you did it. I'm cool with you saying, yes, this, that, and sharing the information, boo, boo, boo. This part I learned about, yo, shout out to Dane for da-da-da-da-da because blah, 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 blah. That's fine. When you make pretending like you doing all that and you regurgitating me verbatim, I got the videos. And you regurgitating me verbatim, don't do that. That just lets me know that you in there for a meal ticket. You ain't doing it with the right intent. You hoping that you'll go viral and get paid. Remember how they say God don't like ugly? This is the reason why nobody ugly on the outside, but they will be ugly on the inside. That's about what you do. You come in with the wrong intent, that's ugly. We're going to do away with that. Same with the people that I'm pointing out. Same thing with the people that I'm pointing out. Some we need to go vote. That's ugly. Ugly way of thinking. Ugly way of doing things. We are not going to progress by talking about voting in somebody just because they look like you and I. Oh, that person is black. Vote that person in. Things gonna change. No, the fuck it's not. Straight up, no, it's not. Stop letting that happen. Stop falling for that same cycle over and over. Don't let it repeat no more. We got things to do. You tired of waiting, so am I. Break the cycle. Stop letting these people call you black. You're not dead. You are alive and well. Stop letting these people call you African American when you ain't never visited and you can't go kiss the ground of your ancestors that's buried in anywhere in Africa right now. Stop it. Talking about your ancestors went through slavery and you can't name one. Right now. You can't name the date. You'll recall the date, name the location, or their first and last names of your great-great-greats and greats. You don't know your people. Anybody can control you and your history. If you don't know your people, anybody can control you and your history. Know who your people are. Yeah, of course, that's what this is all about. Because at that point, once you realize who you are, you realize it's a different type of fight here. And ain't just fighting for some goddamn check. Yeah, because they still got you in poverty because you're a dead entity. To them, the majority of the people that's on welfare is Caucasian. They better off than you, with you being in poverty. There's a reason for that. You still claiming something that don't exist. We got to make the changes. And I'm going to keep saying this. And I'm going to do what I got to do to make it happen too. I'm going to try my hardest with some things that I'm going to be putting out there. Y'all going to see it. Again, regardless if you disagree with me or not, I'm going to do it regardless. And it's going to be different than a lot of things that you are used to seeing. That's a promise. The things that I'm going to put in motion, some of that stuff, I don't even got to have my name on it. It's because it's not about that. It's about us. When you see it, and when I finally come out and say, hey, we gonna need some, we gonna need some donations for this reason, it's gonna be for a reason. Something already gonna be there. Not no, oh, here's a promise. And I'm gonna keep promising you this thing for 10, 12 years, and you don't see no result. I can promise you that. That ain't gonna happen from my end. This whole entire time, I see that if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. That's the mentality our people gotta have. If you want something done right, you gotta see that it's done. By you, by yourself. Not meaning only you, but by you. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it, baby. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow. Totally different topic. Matter of fact, we could do various topics. That's if y'all gonna be there, you know. It's up to y'all. If y'all want to do that, that's fine, because I know a lot of people want, you know, they want to huddle up with their families and stuff like that, drink bottles and everything. I ain't trying to have the ladies up on here with shirtless and everything, showing, you know, because they got a little tipsy. Men over here trying, listen, I ain't trying. If y'all gonna be cordial, I'll let you up on the panel tomorrow. You can have a few drinks, but I don't want you to take it to a whole nother level. You understand what I'm saying? And it'd be a totally different thing now. Okay, if you gonna be cordial, I wouldn't mind opening up the lines again tomorrow. We could do it tomorrow. We could just say various topics. We could talk about it all. But I don't want to be but it's a limit, because I ain't trying to talk about no you keep that to your house. You know what I'm saying? I'm married. Okay? And I don't swing no gay weight neither. There ain't none of that. So that's just forewarning to the ladies and the men. You understand what I'm saying? Keep yourself beautiful inside and out now. Don't forget, don't be ugly inside. It's up to y'all. If y'all want me to be here tomorrow, I would be. I open up the lines. We can talk about it all. I wouldn't mind that. It's up to y'all. Y'all want me to be there? We can do it. I wouldn't mind. Shoot. We'll see. All right. Yeah, I'm going, and I appreciate that. The best 3 hours, I didn't even know it was 3 hours. It's almost 4. It's almost 4, but I'm just saying, man, if here come 2024, man, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Of course, I'm still going to give you new content, me and my wife. Of course, we still going to publish the information the best way that we can. Books, movies, videos, audio books, by the way. Yes, I'm doing audio books, website only. I'm not giving Amazon the credit. Website only. But they are on the way. But yes, I am doing it the best way that I can. And then I'm going to be popping up at different places. That's what's going to happen. But again, I just want y'all to know, it ain't just about me. It's about all of us. So don't think, I'm trying to tell you, don't sit up there and say, hey, Dane changed. No, the fuck, I told you. I'm going to pop up. And when I pop up, y'all show up. Show up, man. Show up. Show up and show all. # need you. Bow and arrows. Fire emojis. You know what I'm saying? Turtles in the chat. You see what I'm saying? Tear this thing up, man. Tear it up, because they're going to be watching. So if you see me, you know, outside of the channel, pop up on them, man. And let them know we here, man. Let them know we here for real. And we know what's going on. And we about change. The right change. I'm for real. But I love y'all. Firm handshakes to the brothers. I got to give the hugs to the sisters. Tomorrow, if everything cool, I might have a bottle of wine. We'll see. That's not, but we'll see. I might pop something with y'all tomorrow. But I'm talking about keep it cordial. I ain't playing. Shirts on, fellas and ladies. Let's do it. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Y'all take care. I hope y'all enjoyed everything. I'll probably timestamp this later, but I know I had to go back in and edit it. So if you got to this point, hey, I appreciate you. Y'all have a great evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Wado.
I'm just here to make you think.
Slow down.
Yeah. Sub up, like up.